What's up, everyone? Hope everyone's having a good Monday. Hope everyone's having a good Monday. What's up, everyone? How does it look? How does everything look? I did some work over the weekend to make things look better. We still haven't got the lens for the new camera yet. We're waiting on that. Oh my God, TikTok looks awful though. What?
I don't think they can hear the song.
You guys can't hear the song?
No.
Oh, I know why. Now you can. Where's the song, John? Hold on. We messed up. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna reset. We're gonna go. Just keep it real. What's up, everyone? Hope everybody's having a good Monday. How does everything look? How does everything sound? We'll just start everything from the beginning again. We'll just start everything from the beginning. Oh my God. Yes, it is dumb. It is dumb. Now the day is fixed. Now we got everything back to normal.
Slow down a second, it's making you tense. When I be talking, just don't interrupt. I say the truth, you get salty for what? Give me an argument, not an assertion. I'm almost convinced that you're not a real person. Why
we met together.
What do you gish? Topic to topic, you flop like a fish. Say what you're meaning while being concise. Still got my taco, I ain't leaving Christ. Linda, just listen, get wrecked by a Christian. I think you might have a special condition. I debate all of you Muslim and atheists, witches and wizards and new ages. I roll with Jesus, you still get defeated. You won't change my mind even if you repeat it. Just keep it real. Big John still. Tell me how you feel. Convince me when the taco. Just keep it real. Big John still. Tell me how you feel. Convince me when the taco. Jesus is king. Big John still. Jesus is king. Big John still. Give me some logic, I just wanna know. Why you so toxic, bro? I'm on a roll. You wanna troll me, I'm shutting you down. I be too busy to suffer a clown. Say that
that's something I forgot to do.
Linda, I know you don't listen, let's end it. It's your own fault that you're stuck in your state. I just move on if you come in bad faith. Don't say that I mean, I say what I mean. I'm showing love, pull you away from the thief. You run away, you afraid or you weak. Bro, I don't play, I can make them retreat. You choose a deceit, ain't making me nervous. For those that I reach, I've been living my purpose. This ain't at all about the money. Money. Trying to lift up the soul of this gum is real. Big John still. Tell me how you feel. Convince me when the taco. Just keep it real. Big John still. Tell me how you feel. Convince me when the taco. Jesus is king. Big John still. Jesus is king. Big John still.
Modern Centurion says just blew money on my first computer build.
Nice. That you didn't blow money. That's an investment. That's an investment into your happiness. That's what that is. That is what that is. That's not a waste of money by any means. By any means. That is an investment into your future and into your happiness. Well, one thing that I think we got to put on the list of things to get, we got to change out that yellow light because it's way too yellow in here. You notice that?
I thought it was kind of nice.
You like it?
The yellow glow.
You like the yellow glow? Well, maybe that's just me
But
then.
I have bad opinions.
Yeah, bad opinions.
Jesus is king.
You need to turn that light up.
Jesus is king.
There we go. There we go.
Keep it real. Yeah. Tell me how you feel. Convince me when the taco. Just keep it real. Yeah. Tell me how you feel.
Convince me when the taco.
Jesus is king. Big
John still.
Jesus is king. Big John still.
All right, boys and ladies.
Jesus is king.
We're ready. Now we got a bigger angle. Now we can see all of Abby's cross stitching. All of Abby's cross stitching that's going on there. What's up, guys? How is everyone doing today? Please make sure you smash the like button, sharing the live, doing the things that you need to do to make sure we get out to the people that we need to get out to. John will have the Muslim shave the mustache, grow the beard. Shave the mustache, grow the beard. Let's do it, Abby. Let's do it.
No thanks.
Why not? Why not? We did a couple small things. This is just me nerding out. I moved the camera a little bit back. I moved the lights around a little bit. We also connected Abby's. No, I did get the switcher. I had to send it back, and I'm going to get a new one, which will make everything a little bit smoother in the future. But I was able to figure out how to do this. Abby, you have anything weird on your screen?
No, it's just you. It's just
I can
you.
now
It's
share
just you.
So we can now do that, which is huge.
That way I don't have to send him links.
Yeah,
Be like, look at this.
yeah. Now she could just like, we could just see her screen when she's like talking about things. And she's like, I pulled up this thing and it's like, got to send it to me on Facebook and all that. No, we just click the button and there she is. Echo hell. In the screen, not in the audio, right? Don't mess with me.
No.
Please don't let Muslim be.
Funky said that doubled the audio.
It doubled the audio when I clicked it?
They could hear you on my screen.
Yeah. Hold on. I know why. Fixed it. That's an easy fix. I just had your audio being sent via HDMI. Via HDMI. Now it's good. I removed it.
They're like, ah.
You should have Abby stream also for a different point of view. We gotta. Well, I already have the second camera. I got the second camera here. We're just waiting on the lens. The lens is not going to be here until next Monday. And I spent extra money on shipping. It's 17 days shipping.
You know what though? I'm not here Wednesday, Friday though. So
you're not here Wednesday, Friday?
No, I'm working. Remember, we decided I would work.
We did?
Yeah.
When did we decide that?
Last month.
You can't expect me to remember something from last month.
You didn't even remember something from like 2 days ago.
You cannot expect that of me. So we're not going to have Abby here on Wednesday?
Or Friday.
Who's going to do the timestamps?
I don't know. You told me to go to work.
Who's going to do the timestamps? Who's going to do them? I told you to go to work? Why did I do something so silly? Can you cancel?
No.
What do you mean you can't cancel?
No, I'm going to keep my word.
You can't cancel your work for your other work?
No.
Why not? We are your chat. Say we are your priority.
Because I said I would go.
Everyone in chat say that we're the
so
priority.
So that this guy they're going on their anniversary trip.
Who's going on an anniversary trip?
The person I'm going in for.
Nope, I'm dropping things. Entertain them for 2 seconds, Abby.
Are we rating atheist TikToks today? No, that would be like a Tuesday or a Thursday kind of thing.
We're not doing raids. Today's a standard live, ladies and gentlemen. A standard live. The question is, what are the topics for today? So, Abby, are you ready to put in for the topics? The topics today are Muslims.
Hang on.
We can see everything Abby's doing now. So if she's playing Gallica, we're going to see it.
I don't play Gallica.
We're going to see it.
Just do my cross stitching.
If she's doing it, we're going to see it.
What did you say?
Well, we've already achieved today's goal. I don't know how to say your name. Bueller Apologetics.
Bueller.
Is that Fresh Bueller?
It's not Fresh Bueller.
No, it's not Fresh Bueller.
Somebody else with Bueller.
Another Bueller just sent 500 American big ones. Keep doing your thing, your two. John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whoever should believe in him shall not perish but have eternal life. 1 Peter 3:15. I don't know what that one is, but you just paid me $500. I think I can look it up.
And he just sent 50 memberships.
That's crazy. Somebody must have won the lottery or something. Thank you very much. Very, 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 very generous for you. 1 Peter 3:15 says, but in your hearts, sanctify Christ as Lord. Always be prepared to give a defense for everyone who asks for the reason for the hope that is in you, but respond with gentleness and respect. I think that last part, but respond with gentleness and respect, is like a suggestion. It's not a commandment, I don't think. I don't think that part's a commandment.
Well, we just go off of our feelings here, you know?
Yeah. And then the 50 Big John Still memberships. That's huge. Thank you. That is very, 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 very generous of you. Okay. So topics. Topics are Muslims, atheists, Christianity. So we'll defend Christianity.
Oops.
So Muslims, atheists, Christianity, not abortion, because we might be doing that later this week.
Oh.
and Kirk. So those will be our topics. So put it up as everybody's. You get a membership, and you get a membership, and you get a membership. Everyone's getting a membership. Everyone's receiving those memberships, bro.
You know what's cool is I like when somebody like random gets a membership and then they come into the chat and they're like, "Oh, hey, thanks for the membership. I don't watch usually, but now they're there."
Now they're there. It's incentive for people to come in and check it out. All right, did you post the vote?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ever since our one friend, we started hearing them say, "Yeah." You started doing that.
I'm definitely a copier.
Yeah, we all are.
If somebody says something repeatedly, I will take it on.
Yeah, we all are. Every one of us. Everyone. I guess last person I was talking to is doing a correlation fallacy, because in my notes I just have the huge words correlation written. Scratch that out.
If somebody says Bueller gets to choose. That would only be fair.
That is fair. If they want to, they can choose. 100%. 100%. They could absolutely do that. If they want, they don't even have to send anything else. If they just want to say, "I would prefer this, John." Yeah. You get to pick, as long as the topic is something I actually debate about. Like if you're going to get me to debate about, I don't know. I mean, we could do 2 genders. That's another topic that we could do. There's a lot of things that we could do. Dang, 94 in the chat and 50 subs I got missed. So it doesn't go out. Yeah, go ahead, Abby.
Sorry. I was just about to message. It's out of all of his subscribers.
Yeah.
As long as they have gifts turned on. So like that's like a lottery.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't just get it because you're in the chat. Like it's just anybody who is subscribed to me can get one. That's the thing. There's only one gender. It is Bert. Atheists or Muslims talking about Charlie still makes me sad. Yeah, but it's important. Fair. Makes me sad too, but it's important.
Well, Atheist has won the popular vote by 42. It's at 42%, so that's almost half.
That's one atheist.
So that's what Bueller said. Atheists or Muslims.
Okay, so we are doing atheists today. So let me get that all set up and.
How do you know if you got a membership? You got one. Your name turns green. You get a little helmet, and yeah. Oh, maybe you have to refresh to see it. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a possibility. That happens often.
But you did get one.
That happens often. Okay. There we go. There is no good reason to be atheist. Look, our goal meter's already filled up for the day. Already filled up. We put in the dono bar. We didn't even need to put it up there. We're going to keep it up there because that's just part of the show now. People voted for the dono bar. We got the dono bar, and it's an effective little tool. So it works. We're going to keep the dono bar there, but yeah, it's full. So everything today at this point is going to be a bonus. 110% a bonus. All right, guys, smash the like button and share the live. Do the things that you need to do. Abby, you can open the floodgates, and we're ready to get going.
Okay.
We are ready to get going. For anybody who wants to, those who are watching on TikTok, make sure you're smashing that like button. Smashing. Because TikTok has been a little weird lately. It's not been putting me out. TikTok does that. Sometimes I'm getting like
the best
hundreds of viewers, and sometimes I'm getting then sometimes I'm getting like none. It's really weird.
Floodgates are open.
Awesome. Awesome possum. The only time I got gifted was when I wasn't watching. Hey, it happens. Bro, that taco is moldy. Time to upgrade to a burrito. We get a new taco every time, right? New tacos.
But tacos are delicious.
10K taps. I think we can do better than that. I think we need 20K in taps. 20K in taps. 110%. 20K in taps. I was thinking about switching to a vertical view on TikTok, or a horizontal view, but we'll maybe try that next time, because some people have been doing that, doing like this horizontal setup with the guest thing down below. but I'm not sure how they do that, to be honest. It might be the path and the way to go, but I'm not. Yeah, we'll keep it as it is for now. I signed up for this thing that apparently is supposed to push people, like on TikTok, is supposed to push the people out there, but it's not doing it. It's not doing it.
Signed up for something?
Yeah, there's this thing that
free?
It was free. Yeah. Abby, did you spend our money? Don't worry, we just got covered by Bueller, the other Bueller, Bueller 2. Well, Bueller 1 now. I don't think Fresh is here to complain. Yeah, keep smashing the like button. We need at least 20,000 likes. 20,000 likes so we can get out to the people that we need to get out to, guys. But outside of that, we're off to a slow Monday. Usually we got some people in the queue by now.
It's a rainy, slow Monday.
Rainy, slow Monday. Well, it's rainy where we are. We got the whole world out there, Abby. You think it's rainy in the whole world?
Maybe.
Abby, the accountant?
True.
No, I did all the accounting last month, and I'm probably going to do it again this month.
You're just better at it.
Add Muslims. There's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. You want to do that? Do a double dipper? Yeah, that's good. I'll do a double dipper. I'll do that. Why not? We'll open the floodgates to a few more people. Double dip the salsa and cheese. No snow yet in Canada. Depends where you are in Canada.
Not yet.
Not where we are. Do atheism is better than Islam, so they don't try to just shit talk Christianity. There's no good reason to be a Mutheist. You're not wrong. Oh, we do got somebody. All right, let's bring them in. Do we? Yes. Shawnito. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? Shawnito. Hello.
Somebody is watching from Nigeria.
That's dope. Hello, Shawnito. Okay, goodbye, Shawnito. Good talk. Guys, smash the like button, share the live so we can get out to the people that we need to get out to. My goodness, what is going on today? Did I get the old shadow ban again? That happens from time to time. Oh, he's back. Sean. Oh, yes, I can hear you now. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? I'm good, man. All right, there's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Prove me wrong. Oh, hold on 1 second. People are saying I can hear you, but they can't hear you, and I know why. Just give me 2 seconds. That is I was doing something for some other people. Okay, there we go. You're good.
Okay. Is it better now? Maybe we can test it real quick just to make sure.
Oh, you're going through.
Okay. Yeah. So I've never been a theist. I've always found it kind of weird. I've always been the outsider kind of looking in. And based on my 43 years on this planet, based on all the information I've acquired, when talking to theists, what it appears to me is going on is that theists are being presented with a story, usually when they're typically in a very emotional state of mind. They're forming their own concepts about this story, right, in relation to what is distressing to them. Not always the case, because of course, kids are very impressionable. So this is always something that kids are just generally curious about things, right? But people that tend to convert is usually for an emotional reason. But they're being presented a story. They're forming a concept in their own mind. They're becoming emotionally attached to their own concepts, and then the final form, what it appears to me is going on is they're projecting onto reality. Because every time I go to investigate these claims, none of the information that's ever presented to me seems to fall outside of that purview. So I'm just curious how you feel about that.
Yeah, that's just your own like mental state. I can't argue against your mental state.
Right. But that's kind of why I've never become a theist per se.
So your argument is that I'm not a theist and therefore atheism is a good thing because I don't like the way that people come to the conclusion that theism is true? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Can you hear me? Hello?
Now I can. Yeah.
Oh, that's so weird. Okay, I'm sorry. When my screen goes dark, apparently it also mutes my mic, so I apologize for that. No, it's not about an emotional appeal for me. As far as my beliefs go, like, I guess you could say, like, I care about having the best understanding without having to rely on some sort of emotional appeal about something I don't like. Right? Like, if I don't like the fact that I'm going to die one of these days, right? But that doesn't drive me to try to find some narrative that solves that problem for me. Right? Like, that's just not a driving factor for me.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out your argument because it just seems like you just don't like the way other people have come to the conclusion that's true. That doesn't determine whether or not it's true or false.
No, that's not what I said.
Yeah.
I'm more of
I lost you again. All right, bro. I'm gonna have to move.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry. I'll try to keep more attention. I am sorry about the noise too.
Yeah.
I was saying I'm more of an agnostic. I don't know if that helps you understand my position a little bit better or not. But to me, like, there doesn't ever, like, nobody's ever presented me with some sort of referential basis for why they believe it outside of the framework of them reading a story, becoming emotionally attached to that story, and then projecting it onto reality. And if that's the case, then that doesn't serve any utility for me. It may serve a utility for others, but it doesn't serve one for me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but you're just repeating the same thing. You're just saying, I don't like the way other people have come to the conclusion that is true, so therefore I don't believe it.
That's not what I said. The word "like" never came out of my mouth. So I don't know why you keep saying that.
Because all you're bringing up is the cases on how other people have come to their conclusions. You're saying they read the story, they had an emotional feeling, and then they concluded it was true. And that doesn't work for you. So you don't like the way that they came to the conclusion that it's true.
It's not about like. It's not about it's not about like. It's about, I don't understand how that can be a rational basis by which people come to conclusions, because I understand that methodology is an unreliable methodology by which people come to beliefs about reality.
Right. So let me show you the issue with like what you're saying here. Let's say that I thought my wife went to work today because she usually leaves and goes to work at this time of day. So she left the house, and my conclusion, she went to work. But the reality is she was actually planning to cheat on me, and she was going to leave and go somewhere else to cheat on me. But in the process, she realized that she forgot her purse at her work. So she ended up going to work. So I would be correct in my conclusion that she went to work, but for the wrong reasons. So you're just saying these people
presenting Gettier cases.
Yeah.
That's
so you're
the Gettier case.
Yeah. So you're bringing up that people have come to the conclusion that religion is true through wrong reasons, and that doesn't work for you. That doesn't determine whether or not it's true or not.
Well, no. I'm not talking about whether or not the religion is true. I'm just talking about the utility of their belief system, right? And to me, it always appears that there's some underlying utility that's involved in the process of them forming their beliefs. But that's not something that I've ever had an issue with, right? Yes, I've contemplated my morality. I think it's perfectly natural for people to do so.
Then what is your contention?
Well, my contention is that, that it doesn't appear to be a utility for me. And so if people are trying to convince me to become a theist, well, I need them to provide me some sort of pathway that is meaningful to me and not the one that they utilize themselves, right? So that's kind of where the issue is.
But you're not presenting.
Think that a good reason for one person could be a good enough reason for other people as well?
No, everybody. So how people are convinced of things is going to be based off of subjectivity, right? Everybody's convinced by different standards of evidence. So, but the topic here is there's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Are you just assuming atheism is the default?
Well, again, not being convinced of any proposition being true is the default position until you hear about the proposition to begin with.
No,
and the reason
agnosticism is the default basis.
Well,
atheism is the case where you say that there is no God. It does not exist.
Well, yeah, if that's the way you define it, that's fine. That's not my position. My position is that I am unconvinced that the proposition itself is true, because I haven't been presented.
Okay, so let me just ask you this question.
A good reason why I should be convinced that the proposition is true.
So let me ask you this question as a true dichotomy. So your answers can only be yes, no, or I don't know. Does God exist?
Well, that I don't even know what you're referring to now by that point.
Yeah. So when I'll answer that question. So this God is just a maximal. Oh, sorry. What's the word I'm looking for here? This is a being with unbound power. That's the word I was looking for.
Right. And so I can construct a mental construct given the descriptors that you provide me. And then what I'll do is I'll contrast the concept that I formed in my mind to my understanding of reality. And that concept that I formed in my mind doesn't seem to fit anywhere in my model of reality.
Just a yes, no, or
again,
maybe,
I'm just
please.
going to. Well, no, but I'm exposing the problem with the question.
Yeah, so you can expose the problem. You can expose the problem after, but I would like a yes, no, or maybe. Does this?
Well, no, but that's the problem. I can't, because I can't ascertain a truth value for the proposition because of the underlying problems with the question.
The maybe can also be I don't know, right? So that can be synonymous with that. So I'm sorry, I'm speaking. So the maybe can be I don't know, right? So when I'm asking you, does this being with unbound power exist? It's a true dichotomy question. You can say yes, no, or I don't know. Hello?
It is the case that there is an ontological fact of the matter, yes or no to that question, but that's independent of my epistemic view on the matter. So to suggest that my epistemic view must fall in line with the rules that you're outlining, well, I reject that outright because it doesn't accommodate.
Okay, then I'm going to move on. I'm going to move on because you're not arguing in good faith.
Well, I may not be able to ascertain a truth value to the proposition.
Yeah, I think I'm going to move on because you're not arguing in good faith, but I appreciate your time, man. God bless.
What did I say that was not in good faith?
It's a simple true dichotomy question. You refuse to answer it.
No. I presented the problem with the question. And instead of addressing the problem,
give me the problem, the exact problem.
He's been voted off the island.
Okay, yeah, but thank God.
Right.
God bless. They always do that weird little giggle at the end. Me. Every time. That never fails. All right, let's bring in the next guest.
And like they always think it's because they're winning, but it's really just that the chat is really bored.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Arab Muslim. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Hello,
how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
23.
All right, bro. There's no good reason. I'm guessing you're a Muslim because it says Muslim. There's no good reason to be a Muslim. Prove me wrong. Go ahead.
I can't.
All right, well.
What do you mean?
Thanks for your time then.
No, wait a minute. What was the question?
There's no good reason to be a Muslim.
That's a wrong question.
And what's the right question?
That's a statement.
Islam is perfect. What do you mean? Like, you give me why I shouldn't be a Muslim. You, not me.
So you're just assuming you're right until someone proves you wrong?
Yes.
Huh. Is that a good mental state to be in?
Yep.
I didn't hear his accent. His name says Muslim in it. That's why I assumed he was a Muslim. Yeah, so the reason I say there's no good reason to be Muslim because there's no inductive or deductive argument or evidence that makes the case for it to be true. As a matter of fact, it contradicts history, so therefore it's more likely to be false.
Who wrote history?
People.
Right, the Quran from God. So why would
right. So you have to prove that it's written by God. If not, I'm going to look at the probability and say it's most likely written by a person.
It can be because the person was, illiterate and The Quran was revealed in 22 years.
Yeah, so
23 years.
saying he's illiterate is just a silly argument because I can speak to people and they can write things down. So I can say, hey, Abby, I don't know how to read and write, but can you write this down for me?
No problem.
Allah
John.
is the most perfect high God in the world. He's so great. Look at me, so good. Here's some rules I'm going to give to you guys. I can marry children and have 8 wives, but you guys can only have 4 wives. But you can also marry children.
No, I'm talking about the quality of the Quran. How could a literate boy be so accurate and be preserved in 22 years? You know, that's a miracle, right?
How's that a miracle?
He was illiterate. Don't you believe that?
What does being illiterate have to do with anything? He couldn't read or write. That doesn't mean that he wasn't articulate.
I don't know, man. If you don't,
I mean, if that's all you got, is that some guy who didn't know how to read or write wrote something that I think is really cool. If that's your argument that is proof that it's from God, that's pretty...
No, that's the tip of the iceberg, just one. I'm not saying you should be a Muslim because of that.
Okay, so then what's the reason?
Logically, I mean, God created us to test us, to do
Why is
good,
that logically? How do you know
to test
that?
us.
How do you know that
Hell
God
and
created us
heaven.
to be tested?
It's in the Quran.
So that's circular, right? Because we're trying to prove that the Quran is true first.
I told you, I don't believe in historians. I believe in God's words.
Yeah, how do you know it's from
that's my
God?
case. I know, because
How?
I read it.
How do you... I've read it too. I don't think it's from God. I literally have it right beside me. I've read it.
Yeah, I told you, my case is a test. Life is a test.
Okay, that's what the Quran says. How do you know the Quran is true?
Because it makes sense to our minds.
It doesn't make sense to me. I read it. So what's different between me and you?
I don't know. You have free will to believe or disbelieve.
You
That's
also
you.
have free will. So how do you know you're just not picking the thing that you like more?
Dude, I would like to be saved and do nothing, literally. Like, I pray 5 times a day. I fast 30 days. That's a work. I mean,
Don't hurt yourself
that's not-
patting yourself on the back, man.
that's not easy choice, right? I'm not choosing this because it's comfortable or something. Because
Okay,
it's
so then give me
true.
the reason you're choosing it. How do you know it's true?
It makes sense. Life is a test.
So you're just choosing it because you like it more. You think that makes more sense, so therefore you picked it.
Yes, that's part of it. Yes.
Okay,
Big
that's
part,
not
yes.
that's not okay. I like Christianity more, so I picked that. So Christianity is true.
Christianity based on salvation, not a test.
So I prefer the idea of salvation over a test.
Yeah, that comes to free will. Yeah.
Yeah, so Christianity is true. Islam's false.
If that makes sense to you, so
What?
if that makes sense to you,
And so your argument is whatever makes sense to you is true?
can I debate you about God for a little?
I thought that's literally what we were doing.
No, I mean you think God died for his sins, right?
Right, because no Muslim knows how to defend Islam. They only know how to attack Christianity, correct?
I don't need to attack you.
That's what you want to do,
I'm just
though, is you
saying.
want to debate the Christian God and try to disprove Christianity because you have no way to actually prove that Islam is true.
Islam is true. I don't need. I mean, you give me something. I shouldn't believe in Allah, like something, little something.
Yeah, the fact that it contradicts the most of history.
Back again. I told you I don't need history over God's words.
How do you know it's God's word? Like, that's the problem. You have this irrefutable claim. You're saying it's God's word. Prove to me it's not God's word. So I give you evidence it's not God's words. And you say, I don't believe it because it's not God's word. You see the issue?
I told you part of it, he was illiterate, 22 years, how could be preserved. That's,
Yeah.
Doesn't
So your argument is that he couldn't read or write And he told, because it's known that he didn't write it down. He told his followers to write it down. So you're just surprised the guy who couldn't read or write was articulate.
I write myself. I'm Arabic speaker. Dude, it's
That's
beautiful.
completely irrelevant to what I said.
Yeah, it's irrelevant. Can we debate God for a second?
Because you can't defend Islam. Admit that. And then we can debate whatever you want. If you admit there's no good reason to be a Muslim, I'll debate anything you want. I'll debate whether or not donuts have holes in them.
Defend what, dude? Like, give me a case to defend about Islam.
Why is it true?
I told you what is true because it's from God.
How do you know it's from God?
Read it, dude. Like,
I've read it.
It's not a good book.
Yeah, okay, give me a verse that makes it a bad book.
Okay, Surah 65:4, where it says that you can marry a child. Or how about 434, where it says if your wife doesn't listen to you, you can lightly strike her. Or how about the verse where it says that if somebody steals from you, you're to cut off their hands?
Okay. Does that make Islam false?
No, it wouldn't make Islam false, but you asked me a question. I answered it.
I mean, it's God's law, so...
How do you know it's from God?
Argue with it.
I'm gonna argue against all that, but
Do you have another book from God? Like, do you think the Bible from God?
How do I know there's any books
he's
from
been
God?
voted off.
We have no one else in the queue.
Oh yeah.
Smash the like button, share the like, guys, because we need more guests. This is all we got. This is our top tier apologists for atheists and Muslim right here. Oh, we got some other guests. All right. Appreciate your time, bro. God bless.
Okay, see you.
Hello. How are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
28. And don't mind my username. It's from an anime.
You're good, bro. All right, man. There's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Prove me wrong.
Why is there no good reason to be Muslim?
Because there's no inductive, deductive, or evidential argument, plus it contradicts history.
Would you think that it's beneficial to society to be a Muslim?
Nope.
Why?
Well, first of all, beneficial to society is a subjective claim. So it's going to be based off an individual head state. So you're asking me personally. I do not like Sharia law. I do not like the rules in the Quran. I don't like the fact that you can marry children. So these are reasons I wouldn't say it's beneficial to society.
I mean, if you look at the Muslims across the world, it's the majority of them, they're obligated to donate to the poor. Is that a bad thing?
Yeah. Do you have to be Muslim to donate to the poor?
No, but having a rule to do so is a good thing, I think.
I don't think so. I don't think you should force people to be charitable. I think people should be charitable because of their posture and heart. I think that's a better thing.
Yeah, but we're looking at results in action. Do you think?
Yeah, I'm not a utilitarian. I'm a virtue ethicist.
I mean, it doesn't matter what you are. We're looking at the
That
results.
does matter because that's how I look at morals. You're asking me what morals are, which one's the best moral state. And I take a virtue ethicist moral state and you're asking for a utilitarian moral state. And you're saying it doesn't matter because we're looking at results. That's utilitarian. I'm not a utilitarianist.
Yeah, but objectively looking at it from a society standpoint, that's a better case.
You're just saying it's better because it's better. Do you know what the difference is between virtue ethicism and utilitarianism?
I'm saying it makes more sense because
According to who?
According to the objective worldview.
What object? Okay, how do you measure which moral state is better?
One that produces action.
So that's utilitarianism. So you're just saying utilitarianism is better because utilitarianism is better.
Well, because it produces results. What's wrong with that? You're saying
utilitarianism is better because utilitarianism is better.
You're going into like a word.
You don't know what these words mean, do you?
You're bringing them up. I mean, I'm just telling you.
But you're answering it as if you know what it is. Do you know what it is?
I mean, this is my first time hearing it.
So then just say, I don't know what the word means instead of trying to answer it. So utilitarianism is looking at ethics as just the outcome, right? As long as the outcome has benefits, there it's good. There's no issue. Problem with utilitarianism is you can have a whole bunch of reductios that lead to a lot of problems. One sec.
Objectively, the Catholic Church is the most charitable democratic in the entire world.
That's actually true, statistically true. Now, virtue ethicism is where it's changing the person's heart posture. It's not just looking at the outcome of the event, right? It's about making that person a virtuous person, which overall, if you make everybody a virtuous person, you don't need rules. You would have better outcomes nonetheless.
Yeah, but that's a fantasy. You're not going to make everyone a virtuous person.
Why is that a fantasy? Is that not what's going to happen in Gehenna?
What are you talking about?
In Islam, when you die and you go to Gehenna, does not everybody just become virtuous?
We're talking about this life.
You said it's a fantasy. If it's possible in the next life, it's possible in this life.
No, because I mean,
What's the contradiction?
The afterlife and this life are two completely different things. It doesn't run the same.
What's the contradiction?
There is no, you're not understanding my point.
No one's understanding your point.
I'm telling you, in this world, you're over here yapping about the afterlife. I'm telling you, this world.
Yeah.
You're saying it doesn't matter if the results are produced, if that person doesn't feel virtuous. That's
not what I said.
What did you say?
A virtuous person, by changing heart postures, is going to lead to the world naturally being better and not forced to be better.
Do you have a...
So it allows for free will, which is a better outcome than just forcing somebody. So for example, if you have somebody who does not want to be charitable and is only doing it because they're forced to, that's a worse outcome than people who are all choosing to be charitable because they think it's the best method.
Do you think it's possible for everyone to be charitable?
Yes.
Everyone.
Yes.
You really think so?
Yes.
We're talking like a less than 1% chance of that happening. Because
according to what?
Nature, that's not going to happen.
According to what?
Human nature. That's not going to happen.
Okay, so you think it's a better world to force everybody to live by your worldview, even if they don't want to?
No, I'm saying, I asked you what's wrong for the Quran to tell everyone, hey, you have to donate this.
Because you're forcing everybody to live by your worldview, even if they don't want to. You're taking away their freedom of choice.
No, we're telling the believers do it. You can choose to believe in the Quran and you can choose not to. It's completely up to the person.
And if you choose not to, you have to pay jizya.
I'm telling you, in your perspective, like the non-Muslims' perspective, what's wrong with this? You're saying because they're forced to, because they don't want to.
Yeah.
Well, the people that believe in the Quran want to donate. I don't understand.
And the people who don't want to believe in the Quran are forced to pay jizya, so they have to donate either way.
Yeah, to the people in need. I mean, is there an issue with that?
Right. You're forcing people to live under your worldview, even if they don't want to. Also under Sharia law, if you're a Christian, you're not allowed to practice it. You can't put a cross on the outside of your building. You can't go out and preach that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, and you can't call Muhammad a false prophet because of blasphemy laws.
Oh, wait. Don't the Christians believe that if you're not Christian, then you're going to suffer in the afterlife?
No.
Isn't that the same concept?
No.
You're telling me that none of these preachers out here, I mean, I literally talked to a bunch of them and they all tell me, I asked them, if I'm not a Christian, will I suffer in the afterlife? He says, yes, you will.
Yeah, good for him.
Because you're not saved.
Yeah, the traditional viewpoint is that you can't claim anybody's salvation. That's the traditional Christian viewpoint. So there's this idea in Christianity called fundamentalism that has come up over the last 100 years. It's got some really weird views. But the traditional viewpoint is you can't claim anybody's salvation. Now, Jesus is the way, the truth, and life, and you can't get to the Father without going through him. But when you accept that, it's entirely between you and God gives grace to who he wills.
Okay, you went on a little yap fest. I'm asking you.
He said
I'm
two
not Christian.
sentences.
I'm not Christian. Am I going to hell?
I don't know. No? I don't know.
What does your Bible say?
I don't know.
About the non-believers?
I don't know.
Yeah, you're not being honest.
I am being honest. For Paul says, for the Gentiles who do not have the law are law unto themselves, with their consciences bearing witness against them. Jesus says those who do not know could not be held accountable for their sins, but when they do know, there's no excuse for them.
So I know kind of the basis of what the Christians believe.
Really? You know Jesus Christ is God?
I reject that Jesus Christ is God.
Right. So you don't know.
So am I going to hell?
I don't know.
You're
Now
not
notice,
being honest, man.
notice how every Muslim's the most talented skill a Muslim has is when they have to defend Islam, they find a way to push it into attacking Christianity. It's a very, very good skill that all you guys have. But notice, ladies and gentlemen, that he could not defend Islam.
Well, because I'm trying to play devil's advocate with you. Like you're saying Islam, this, and that, but I'm saying you believe in the same stuff, and you're over here saying you don't know, which is you're
I
being.
don't believe in the same stuff.
I'm saying that logic of Christians, non-believers going to hell is the same logic you just spewed about Islam and the donation where you're forced to donate.
I'm
It's
not.
kind of the same
Christians are
logic.
not forcing Muslims to do anything. How's that the same?
You're not understanding, dude.
You're just not making sense.
Make it make sense. Explain it to me like I'm 5 if I'm not understanding. Oh, he left. All on his own. I didn't even kick him. All right, guys, smash the like button, share the live. Let's get this out to the people. Let's bring up the next person. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Hello, can you hear me? My old is 30.
Yeah, I
I
can hear.
am 35 years old.
I can hear you. All right, man. There's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Prove me wrong. Go ahead.
I think there could be good reason to be an atheist because it's impossible to prove that uh, there is a Muslim, Christian, or Jewish God, right?
Okay, so why is atheism the default?
I would say theism should be the default, or being agnostic, if I'm saying it correctly.
I'd agree with
Which
you.
is we don't know.
Agnosticism is the default. I'd agree with you. So there's no good reason
We
to be an
don't know.
atheist then.
It's hard. Yeah, I mean, you see you look at the human body,
Mm.
you look at it's hard for it. It's hard to believe it just came like this. However, it's also hard to believe that Christianity, Islam, or Judaism, those gods are the one who created this. We
Right,
just don't know.
right. So you admit there's no
Yeah.
good reason to be an atheist.
No, I mean, being a theist, it means you don't know. It could
Yeah,
be
yeah. So hold on. Is there a good reason to be atheist?
a good reason to be an atheist.
Yeah.
It's no,
No.
we don't know.
There's no good
We
reason to
don't
be
know.
atheist. Okay,
Yeah,
awesome.
so I'm just calling you, and I cannot disagree. It's hard to be an atheist. I was at that position at some point after I left Islam, and I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, all the arguing you have with the Muslim people here is just you're gonna win. There is no way nobody can win over you because I mean, think about it. It's a book, right? So you have to read the book and you have to believe in what's written in there. Anyway, that's something I leave to you. I don't want to take much of your time.
Well, I was just going to say, now that you've admitted that there's no good reason for atheism or Muslim, I could tell you why there's a good reason to be a Christian.
I would love to know, but it would be very hard for you to convince me, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not worried about convincing you. I don't care about your own mental state. I'm just going to give you a logical reason that you could be a Christian, right? And if it convinces you, that's between you and God. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So the reason I'd say it's good to be a Christian, or that it's logical to be a Christian, is because the evidential aspects in history show that Jesus Christ resurrected from the dead. And so I'd say we have a belief and knowledge and a justification in his death and resurrection.
Yeah, but that's the challenge, my friend. How do you know? It was 2,000 years ago. Have you been there? Did somebody? Don't feel like I am, because I respect all religions, right? I want to be careful. I really want to be careful. But
You're
how
not
do you
going
know?
to disrespect me, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the reason I'd know
How
is
do you know?
the reason I know is because we apply the historical method and see if it holds up to scrutiny. And I think that not only does it hold up to scrutiny, it surpasses it like tenfold. So for example, most people in history only have like 1 or 2 writings of them from individual sources. With Jesus, we have like a ridiculous amount in comparison, right? Obviously, you have the four Gospels, you have the epistles by Paul, you have the epistle by Peter, epistle by James, and then you have extra biblical texts as well that attribute to him. So one of the things, like by historians, is nobody really argues that Jesus Christ existed. So that's like a historical consensus. And most of the data, not all, but most of the data that says he existed also says that he resurrected. And when we go through that data, I think it's the fact that the people who were recording it were trying to give honest, truthful information. And that honest, truthful information says that he resurrected. So the question is, what do we do with that information? I think the best hypothesis is that he actually resurrected. I haven't seen another hypothesis for all the data.
Yeah, but then you would get another question. That's why it's hard to debate. Just say, theist or atheist. It's very hard to debate them. The other question is, why is God not talking to us right now? Where is
Yeah.
he?
Yeah. So again, this is just like more of
How
like a
can you
mental
debate
state.
that?
Yeah, it's more of like a mental
Mhm.
state. Like, why does God have to talk to you right now?
I mean, it's if this is something that people fought war over it, and is it that hard for him to show up? And
No, it's not hard for him to do it, but you're just saying, I prefer if God did X, God does not do X, so therefore he doesn't exist. That's not how we come to conclusions. We don't look at things and say, I'd prefer it to work this way, and that determines whether or not it's true.
I mean, the way I see it, as simple as if he's created everything, why isn't he making it easy for all of us to see him?
Again,
He could make it so easy.
Again, you're just looking at a thing that you wish God did, and if he doesn't do it, he doesn't exist. That's not how we determine truth. Like, I wish fish just killed themselves and walked into my fridge, so I had a full fridge of fish, but that doesn't mean fish don't exist.
Yeah, I just find it weird, Yeah, but again, finding it weird, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So I
Right.
cannot argue on that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that's why I'd say that Christians are rational for believing in the resurrection. It's because we have, again, a ridiculous amount of data that says Jesus Christ resurrected.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate the work you're doing. It just I still stand with Richard Feynman and all the physicists and scientists.
You don't have to you don't have to disregard science. It's not incompatible with Christianity.
Then why did you have the Dark Ages? If it's, I mean, I think I'm talking not Europe, right? If you read history, right? So I think there was this Reformation, and definitely the Reformation doesn't. That's why you got all the sciences coming from the West, right? The recent centuries, but there was some Reformation to Christianity. What did it have to be? Why did that Reformation need to happen?
So
in the first place?
you're just looking at a behavior of a certain specific group of people and determining the totality of all of it's false, right? We cannot determine something to being true or false based off individual behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
There's no unless you can actually show me a contradiction between being a Christian and believing in science, you can't just look at other people's behaviors and say, therefore, it disproves it.
Yeah.
Like, I believe in
What
science.
about the last argument? What about the things don't feel proportionate? Let's say the universe is huge; it's billions of light years, and if you know what a light year is, and then this dot in the middle of nowhere is the center of the universe. I assume that's what Christianity would say, right? Like
No.
other religion.
Christians can say that. Hold on.
Scholars today say the Dark Ages never existed.
There's that too, but I was just going to grant it. So yeah, again, you're just looking at what other Christians have done and said and saying that is Christianity. You have to actually show me a contradiction between like our doctrine and dogmas and science to say that we're not compatible with science.
I mean, I'm not. If you remember the guy, the first well-known Western scientist who discovered, I think he discovered Jupiter or Saturn. He was prosecuted. What was his name? I'm sure you know him.
Are you
In the
talking about
1500.
Galileo?
Yes.
Yeah, it's argued whether or not that was done by Christians and for Christians' sake. So again, you're just looking at behaviors of certain sets of Christians and determining that is the case. You have yet to show me a contradiction. Like, I could say I'm a Christian and then I could go around and start chopping people's heads off just willy-nilly. doing that is a contradiction to the Christian faith. So just because I claim to be a Christian and I start doing things doesn't mean that is what Christianity is. So you have to show me an issue between science and our doctrines and dogmas, not just what other Christians have done in the past.
Yeah. What about the other argument I will take it to different what about the argument that Islam copied Christianity and Christianity copied Judaism and Judaism copied the ancient religions, the ancient civilizations from Egypt and Iraq nowadays? What was that? Sumerian, something like that.
The
You know, those
Sumerian
gods,
text,
and
yeah.
and it kind of feel the same.
Yeah,
I,
the problem with that is the evidence for it being copied is very slim and none. So, for example, between Judaism and Ugarit, there's only like a couple of correlate texts, and we can't determine whether that is appropriation or what do they call it? There's a certain word I'm looking for, cultural competition, I think is what it is, where basically cultures would flex on each other. So they'd use similar stories to talk about why their God is more powerful. And so they see correlates between the two, and then they assume that we just came out of Ugarit, now came out of the Sumerian texts. I don't think the evidence is very strong for that. So one of those things is that they called both early Jews and early Canaanites called God El. Right. This is why Israel is called Israel, right? To wrestle with God. But that term El is just an encapsulation of the name God, right? It wasn't until later that we got the revelation of Yahweh. And that was God revealing his actual name to Abraham or Moses, sorry.
Yeah.
So I don't see a reason to see that Judaism was appropriated from Canaanite beliefs, and I don't see a reason to think that Christianity appropriates from Jewish beliefs, because we encapsulate the totality of Judaism. We're the continuation of it. We believe the Messiah came. The Jews don't.
Yeah, I looked at the religions. I didn't. I'm an engineer. I didn't look at it like really deeply. I'd say the only thing that sort of resonates with me is that woman. There is a woman that's equivalent to God in Christianity. I don't think you heard about her. It's kind of some, and she created everything. That's something that sort of
I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're saying. Can you say it again?
there is a God woman that created everything, and some Christians know about her. Have you heard about it or
No, I
never?
have no idea what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah, that's fine. Yeah. No, yeah. I think I don't have any other argument. The only thing is the proportionality. That's the word, proportionality. That is, when you start thinking, when you start questioning Islam, it's hard not to question Christianity. So for you, as a Christian, questioning Islam, you will have easy time.
Oh
But
yeah.
going against scientists, and
But again, I don't need to
it
go
will be
against
hard.
scientists because I don't disagree with science.
Well, the thing is, the scientists disagree with you. If you look at
No, there's
most of the
a lot of religious scientists out there. Who's that guy, Abby? The one that your family likes again?
Stephen Meyer.
Yeah, Stephen Meyer has got his doctorate in the philosophy of science, and he's a Christian, and he advocates for Christianity all the time.
Yeah, he has a point to make. Again, I looked at the DNA and the human cell. It's hard to believe it was created just by evolution.
Right,
You
right.
got a point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
But then
again,
from the other,
Isaac Newton believed in God. So there's science again
yes.
doesn't contradict, and there's a lot of scientists that are atheists, but a lot of scientists that are Christian too. Like we know
Yeah.
people in our own personal life that work in the sciences that are Christian.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 But I would say from the Abrahamic religions, if one of them was true, it would be Judaism. That's to me. I feel the other ones just copied it, and that's it. Thanks. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
All right, man.
Appreciate
Appreciate your time. God bless.
Thank you.
Nice guy. 10 out of 10 guest. 10 out of 10 guest right there. Let's bring up the next one. Guys, smash the like button, share the live, do the things that you need to do. Today we're saying there's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Prove me wrong. It's getting a little chilly in here.
Hello?
Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
I'm 21.
All right, bro. There's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Go ahead.
Yeah, here's a reason. I don't believe in your 1,000-year-old storybook that tells of a sky daddy that
Okay.
grants wishes to billionaires. How
Okay.
about that?
Okay. Why don't you believe it?
Because it's ridiculous.
Why is it ridiculous?
It makes no logical sense and it has no impact on me.
No
I will never read
logical
a word of the Bible, and I refuse to. I was
sense.
raised by atheists, and religion is inherently evil.
Okay, so no logical sense. What is the contradiction?
Here's a contradiction. It's okay not to know something. Just because we don't know something doesn't mean we have to make up answers to it.
That's not a contradiction. Do you know what a contradiction is?
Do you?
Yeah, a contradiction is something is P and not P. So can you show me the contradiction? Because you said it makes no logical sense. So if it's no logical sense, therefore there has to be some sort of contradiction.
There doesn't have to be a logical explanation for what created things. There doesn't have to be.
But you said it's wrong because it doesn't make logical
don't
sense.
Have to know everything. Okay. Yeah. And when we don't know things, we like to make up answers. And then people have made careers of manipulating and controlling the masses with religion to make them fall into this sheep of people that are unable to free will and critically think of anything.
Okay, so if you're saying critically thinking and you're also throwing out it's illogical, can you show me the logical contradiction or the critical conclusion that how you came to the critical conclusion?
Yeah,
that it's
people
false?
are calling me a fucking demon. Christians are the fucking scum of humanity. I will say that. You need to be cleansed from this fucking earth.
So you don't have a logical explanation for why it's false?
There doesn't have to be one.
Okay, so you're saying so by definition, hold on. I've let you speak. So by definition, you're saying there is no logical reason like to deny it. Then you're saying it's actually illogical to deny it. That's the conclusion. It's a true dichotomy. So you just admitted it's illogical to deny Christianity.
No, I did not.
Okay, then explain to me the logical contradiction and why it's wrong to believe in Christianity, because you said it's illogical.
It's fucking evil. It is
evil according to what?
Used from the Catholic Church and through millennia to control the masses.
Well,
and stop them from free thinking.
Evil has nothing to do with contradictions, but I'm just going to grant that it's evil. Evil according to what?
Fucking anyone's morality other than a fucking twisted ass fucking Christian faith that they call their I can't fucking stand Christians, okay? I cannot stand to be in the fucking same room as them. When I see you pop up on my For You page, I want nothing more than to fucking
Well, we can fight if you want.
Stupid, but it doesn't do anything because your fans' minds are already too far gone that they will never be able to understand what I'm trying to preach at them. They're just gonna say, "Oh, I'll pray for you." Fucking go fuck yourself. If you're saying that.
Okay, evil according to what?
The evil. You ever seen a fucking movie that has a empire? Let's say, goddamn Star Wars or anything. It's evil. They are trying to control.
So
the masses.
why is controlling the masses evil?
To freely think, because in a world where people freely think, God doesn't exist.
Okay, so why is it wrong to control the masses?
Because you stop people from freely thinking.
Why is it wrong to stop people from freely thinking?
Because it makes you live in an abject version of reality.
Why is it wrong to live in an abject version of reality?
Because you're not seeing the world for what it is, and then when you
why is it wrong to not see the world from what it is?
You start letting your feelings and your beliefs dictate what should be and what shouldn't be in the world.
Okay, why is that wrong?
You people fucking suck.
Why is it wrong?
Absolute scum of the earth.
Why is it wrong though?
So if I were to die And
Yep.
let's say God was real,
Yep.
and I'm at the fucking gates of heaven or something.
Yep.
And the first thing I would say is, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I would not say, "I'm so sorry for not believing you." I'd be
Okay.
like, "Where the fuck were you when Donald Trump got elected? Where the fuck were you when people were starving? Where the fuck were you?" God doesn't give a fuck about you. Neither do the churches. You ever see Nakia, the chick that would call churches with a starving baby and ask if it would help her?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking 29 out of 35 said no.
And why is that
you
wrong?
You guys are fucking horrible, evil people that gatekeep the best parts of life.
Why is that wrong?
Dangle it in front of poor people that are so easily susceptible to your manipulation, and it's sad. It's so sad.
I need a crying button. So why is it wrong? Why is that wrong?
Do you like starving children? Do you like starving babies?
If I did like starving children and starving babies, would that be wrong?
Yes.
Why?
Because that's a sick fuck. You're telling me if there was a baby in front of you that hadn't eaten in fucking 48 hours and the single mother was like, "Hey, do you think you could buy some formula for me?" You don't think you'd do it?
If I said no, why is that wrong?
Because you're letting the child starve?
Okay, why is that wrong?
Okay, what if somebody let you starve when you were a fucking kid?
Yeah, why would that be wrong?
God, there's no hope for these people. You know, Christians are actually going to be the ones going to hell.
Wait, hope. Hold on. What do atheists have hope in? The great spaghetti monster? Oh, he left, or she left, or they left, or it left. I'm not too sure. Okay, that was a great conversation. All right, let's move on to the next one. Guys, smash the like button, share the live. Let's, this guy. I haven't talked to this guy in a while. Let's see what he wants. What do you want?
I was going to make a joke, but I think that person needs prayers versus jokes. I was actually going to ask you about your apologetic for the, when Christ is, basically it's like not knowing the hour, right? It's a very surface level, question, but you're apologetic as far as like basically Christ separating himself from his divine to like human to divine nature. Do you still hold to that, or
no? I don't pick a specific one. There's like three options that you can hold to. They're all like logically sound and valid. You can hold to the oide saying that to know. He's just talking about a declaration. You can also hold to the separation, like his human nature didn't know. And I think there is some truth to that because Jesus grew in wisdom. But then you can also just hold to the declaration, like, the other type of declaration where he's specifically talking about the cultural reference, where it's like only the Father would tell you of the time. So like Jesus constantly refers to him being joined to humanity as a wedding, and he's using Jewish culture and Jewish weddings. Well, in Jewish culture and Jewish weddings, it was only for the father to announce when the actual wedding would happen. So people would have a general idea when it was going to happen. So they'd know like in this week, because they'd have to prepare and get food and stuff like this. But it was for the father alone of the groom, out of respect for him, he would declare the actual day. So it's most likely Jesus was referencing that.
Yeah, I was going to ask about the so in regards to the separation of natures, would you consider that like I don't know if that's what actually came up. Would you consider that like borderline like Nestorianism, or how would you?
Well, I don't think the natures are separated. Like it's one. But what I'm saying is that Jesus has a full human nature. So in that full human nature, my assumption, this is just assumption, is that there is being fully human. You've limited some knowledge in your human nature, because there's two minds, right? There's the human mind and then there's God's mind intertwined in who Jesus is. And as I believe God's mind wills it, he reveals the information to Jesus's mind, or the human flesh. But it's not separation, it's still one.
Is there that's the interesting part about the minds. Do you have or do you know any like church fathers, any writings on that? Like I could look more into that?
No, not in church fathers on that. I do have like some church father writings I've yet to get into about that. But no, This is just kind of like my own interpretation of understand, like looking at philosophy of mind and looking at the scripture.
Got it. Yeah. All right, cool. That's all I do. I got so many books, dude. It's not even funny. All right, man. God bless. Keep it up.
All right, man. Peace. What are you laughing at?
Fresh Bueller just showed up and said, "Wow, I've been replaced."
Sorry, Bueller. It is what it is. It is what it is. Let's take a guest on the other thing. We haven't done that in a second. At least Gabe loves me. Somebody's got to love you, bro. Yusuf, hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Hello.
Yo.
How are you?
How old are you?
I am 14. Is it okay?
Yeah. No.
I knew it.
Not okay.
Get your kids off the internet.
David, hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Hey, I'm fine.
How old are you?
I'm 43.
All right, man. There's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Prove me wrong. Go ahead.
I think there's no good reason to believe in any god, therefore
You got to fix your audio, bro.
you should be an atheist.
You got to fix your audio. I can barely make you out. And he's gone. Okay. Let's bring up somebody from over here.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Me, I'm 35.
I'm 43.
Oh,
Whoa.
no.
Whoa.
You, my friend, snuck back in after you got disconnected. I don't know how that happened.
Sorry about that.
How are you still? I muted you.
You gotta mute yourself.
I got him. All right. Sorry, man. How old are you?
Me, I'm 35.
All right, bro. There's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Go ahead.
So, I'm a Christian, but I want to open your mind to why there is good reasons to be other than Christian.
I'm not interested in devil's advocate arguments.
And well, atheist and Muslim, I feel not Muslim, but atheist. I feel like
We're not white knighting Islam.
Well, no, he said he's a Christian, so he's devil advocating. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
28.
All right, bro. There's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Prove me wrong. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the proof is right here, man. I'm Muslim and I feel good.
Yeah, so what I mean by good is like rational.
Yeah, I feel good in the heart.
That's not a rational reason to hold something to be true.
Wait, what'd you say?
Yeah, appreciate your time.
Okay.
Why are you laughing? You said nothing.
I mean, you can just obviously tell he came up to be a troll. He's like chewing on the phone in the ear and things like that. You can always tell when a Muslim's just like, nah, I'm not even going to argue with this guy in good faith. Usually you can tell by the fact that they're going to eat while they're on the when they're on the live.
Hi, John.
Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
I'm 45.
All right, bro. Just real quick. Oh, sorry. There's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Go ahead.
I think the burden of proof is on Christians or theists to demonstrate that their gods do exist. I've yet to come across a sufficient reason to believe any of the claims of Christianity or any other religion.
Okay, so are you just saying atheism is the default?
Yes.
Okay, why is atheism the default?
Because belief has a burden of proof, and you need to demonstrate that belief.
Yeah, so atheism is a positive claim saying that there is no thing.
It's not.
Yes,
How can atheism be a positive claim when the claim is, I don't know if a God exists?
Yeah, I don't know is agnosticism.
I don't agree with that.
Okay, then can you tell me the categorical difference between atheism and agnosticism then?
Agnosticism is I don't believe a God exists because I've not been shown sufficient proof.
Yeah, agnosticism by definition is I don't know or it can't be known. So what's your definition of atheism?
My definition of atheism is the burden of proof hasn't been met by theism.
Yeah. So what is the definition of atheism? You're just saying what is not the definition of something else.
Atheism is the lack of belief in deity or deities.
Okay. So again,
Because
what's the difference? Oh, lack of belief. What's the difference
I've given
between
you my
that?
Definition.
Hold on. What's the hold on.
It?
Hold on. What is the difference between lack of belief and I don't know?
Lack of belief and I don't know. Lack of belief, the evidence hasn't been presented. I don't know means that I'm not aware of anything. I'm not aware of anything as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. Does the flip-flop fish exist?
Define a flip-flop fish for me.
Yeah, it's a flip-flop fish that exists in the Pacific Ocean. It generally has like this flip-flopping motion as it goes through the water, and it's kind of flat. Does it exist?
Have you ever demonstrated that one can exist?
I have yet to do that. Does it exist?
I don't know if it exists. You haven't provided a definition.
Right. So you don't know.
Definition.
I've given you the definition
Your definition
of it.
is flawed. No. That definition has a tautology in it because you said the flip-flop fish is a flip-flop fish. That's a tautology.
The flip-flop fish is a fish the flip-flop fish.
Try and engage honestly.
The flip-flop.
Honestly.
The flip-flop fish is a fish that exists in the Pacific Ocean. It's generally flat. 2 eyes are on the top of the head. It's got a pinkish green color and it flip-flops as it goes throughout the water.
Now you're adding that detail in, right?
You asked for more descriptions. I gave you more descriptions.
That's
so
not a definition.
Does it exist?
That's just a description.
Yes, I've given you descriptions. I've given you the description factors of the flip-flop fish.
Based on everything that you've said. Everything you've said.
Does it exist?
I don't think it does. I don't think it does. But I'm happy to be proven wrong.
Okay, so it's yes, no, or I don't know. Which one?
I don't know.
So you're agnostic towards the flip-flop fish. Okay, does God exist?
I have not been provided.
No, yes, no, or I don't know.
No, I don't. The Christian God, absolutely not. No.
But just God in general. I'm just talking about an unbound being. Does it exist?
That's too vague a definition. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So a being that has unbound power.
You've not demonstrated that such a being is
Does
possible.
it exist? Yes, no, or I don't know.
I'm sorry, John. I'm not going to keep playing this word game with you. You're either going to engage with me or you
I am engaging you with good faith. I'm showing you how you're not consistent.
There's nothing good for. There's nothing.
So it's
good
yes.
about
It's
what
yes,
you're doing.
no. It's yes, no, or I don't know. Which one?
Again, an unbound being is too vaguely defined.
Yeah.
What
So
does
an
that even
unbound
mean?
being is a being that has no constraints on it at all. It has the maximum properties.
Have you even demonstrated that's even possible?
I've yet to demonstrate anything. I'm just asking you a question. Does that exist?
Based on what you're saying, how am I supposed to know that? Like,
I don't know.
Possible.
Is it yes, no, or I don't know?
I don't even think it's possible.
Then no.
I think the answer would be no, but I'm happy to be proven wrong.
Okay, so if it's no, then that is atheism. So you're saying it does not exist.
No, it's not. Like you're just simply twisting.
I'm not twisting the
your
words.
Definition. You really are.
No, I'm not.
I've just told you I don't believe in a God because I've not been shown evidence that one can exist. That's the default.
And you have yet to.
hypothesis.
And you didn't show. You didn't show. I didn't show you any evidence that a flip-flop fish exists. Yet you said I don't know.
Because you've just pulled that example out of thin air.
Yeah, but why did you say I don't know to the flip-flop fish, but no to the God?
Because a flip-flop fish can technically exist, whereas you've not even demonstrated the possibility of a God existing.
Okay, so you're saying God cannot technically exist. Now you have a burden of proof. Can show me it's impossible for God to exist.
Demonstrate that a God can exist, and then we can have a discussion.
So because you've just made a positive claim. You said God cannot exist. That's a positive claim.
But John, are you not a Christian?
Yes, I am a Christian. But you just made a positive. Hold on, Linda. You've made a positive claim. You've said.
My name's not Linda.
Linda.
My name's not Linda.
Linda.
Okay.
Listen.
John.
Linda. I'm not
going to take you seriously.
Linda. I don't care if you take me seriously. You can move on at any point.
I mean,
so Linda,
to be fair, Alex O'Connor did stomp on you during
yes, he did.
Debate,
yes,
so
he did.
Yeah,
and I'm stomping on you. So what does that say?
You're really not.
Yes, I am. I really am.
You're not the arbiter of who stomps who. Like
so,
that,
then you are.
Made any? Hang on. If you made
you
arguments.
Hold on, you are the arbiter? Hold on. I'm not the arbiter, but you are the arbiter?
You're trying to convince me. Of course you are.
So
of course I'm the arbiter. You're trying to convince me.
You're the arbiter of who stomps who, but I'm not. Why?
because you're trying to convince me that your God exists, and you're.
I'm actually
trying to
not.
shift the burden of proof.
Hold on. I'm not trying to convince you of that. This whole time, your whole argument against me is I
But you're a
wasn't. Hold on.
Christian.
I'm still speaking.
But you're a Christian.
Okay. I hate muting
Are you not a
people, but you're
Christian?
forcing me to do it. So.
Okay, go ahead. Mute me.
So. Your whole issue with me since you came in is that I wasn't trying to prove my God. And now you're saying the issue is I am trying to prove my God. Which one is it?
You have not presented sufficient evidence to convince me that your God exists.
Answer the question, Linda.
And I'm telling you what the problem is with this
Is
situation.
the issue I'm not trying to prove my God or I am trying to prove my God? Which one?
You're not trying to prove your God.
Great.
You
So
have a-
I'm not making a positive claim. At this point, I haven't made any claims. You're the only one who's made a claim.
You are a Christian.
Hold on one
I-
second.
you-
Hold on one second. Hold on.
This is my first time super chatting on YouTube. I wanted to gift you this dono to help with the show because I saw you saying last week you might not hit your goal. God bless you, brother. Jesus Christ is Lord and you're accepted in the beloved.
Thank you very much. That was very kind and very generous of you. All right. So far in this conversation between me and you, I haven't made it.
you
Hold
are
on.
making
Hold
a
on.
positive
Hold on.
claim.
What positive claim have I made in
John.
this conversation?
You're a Christian, are you not?
That's not making a positive
said-
claim. That's a belief
It is.
state.
Did
Okay,
you
that is-
read
oh,
the
so can now
did you
demonstrate
read
your
the
belief.
prompt?
What time? At what point did I make a positive claim? Which positive claim did I make in this live?
You're a Christian, are you not? Did you not say you're a Christian?
That is a head state. That's a mental state. When did I make a positive claim?
Again, I'm going to keep repeating the same thing. You are a Christian.
Then
That's
you
not
have been
making a
voted off.
claim.
He's been voted off.
we're talking.
I appreciate
past
your
each other,
time, bro.
that's
God
fine.
bless. You've
Yeah,
been voted off the
that, he
island.
doesn't exist. He can't bless me.
So angry. So angry for nothing.
All right, let's bring up the next guest. Josh, hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Hi, I'm 32.
All right, man. There's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Prove me wrong. Go ahead.
Well, I think let's phrase it as like, have you ever heard of Pascal's wager?
Yes.
The whole thing, we don't want to go to hell, right? So
No, that's not Pascal's wager.
Well, the question would be to be a Christian to avoid the risk of going to hell, correct?
That's still not Pascal's wager. No, Pascal's
Okay,
wager.
go ahead and tell me what you think Pascal's
yeah. So Pascal's wager is that if you're on the edge and you're not sure what to do, is that you are to play with it and that you are to participate in the communion and you're to participate in church to see the outcome that will come from it because you have nothing to lose.
Okay, that's not the way I've heard it, but even let's say that's correct.
Yeah.
Let's pose that argument for every religion in the world, right? You and I speak English, so of course we're going to have this conversation about Christianity. But if we spoke Arabic or we spoke Hindi,
So what is the title say? What is the prompt?
right? A reason to be atheist, in my point, is that to avoid Muslim hell, to avoid Hindu hell, to avoid Buddhist hell, to avoid all of those hells, I shouldn't pick any of them, right? Because they're all a risk, and I don't know what God.
Yeah,
wants.
but that's a straw
You're
man of
assuming you know
Pascal's
God.
wager and also like my viewpoint.
Well, prove it wrong then.
Prove what wrong?
Prove the point wrong. Prove the idea wrong that I'm
your
risking hell.
your argument is against another person's point, so I don't have to prove it wrong. I'm just saying you're misrepresenting their point. Pascal's wager wasn't that point. Pascal's wager again wasn't the point to avoid hell for all religions. Pascal's wager was for a person who was already dabbling within Christianity.
All right, we can leave that out then. But that's my reason to not be a Christian, right? What if I don't want to go to hell for any religion?
I mean, that's not going to change the truth claim of anything.
Okay, well, I also don't believe any of these religions are true.
Okay.
That's the other side of it.
Okay, what's your argument for that?
Why should I?
So your argument is why should I? Okay.
For any of them.
All right, so watch this. I have no evidence for atheism, so therefore I don't believe it.
That's fine. You don't have to. Nobody asked you to.
So you're
I'm not asking you to believe.
So then why are you up here?
Believe in anything.
Why are you up here?
The great reason to be an atheist is that I don't have to make claims that I can't prove.
Yes, you are making a claim you can't prove. You're saying there is no God.
Well, we went over this with your last caller, and I would argue that agnosticism and atheism are not necessarily different categories. I would say that I'm an agnostic atheist, meaning I don't know for sure.
Okay, what is the categorical difference between atheist and agnostic then? Because atheist, by definition, is the contradictory term to theist. Theist, positive claim there is a God. Atheist, positive claim that there is no God. Agnostic,
and
I don't know, or it cannot be known. So what is the difference? What is the difference between agnostic and atheist?
Sure. Agnostic means you don't know. Gnostic means you claim you do know. So you could be an agnostic theist, meaning you believe in a religion, but you don't know for sure. And similarly, I can be an agnostic atheist where I don't believe in any religion, but I also don't know for sure.
Yeah, so you're basically saying I don't know and know at the same time. Those are contradictory.
Well, I don't know. So why should I assume it's any of them?
So if you're saying I don't know, then you cannot also say no.
No, I'm saying I'm an atheist in the sense that I don't believe in any theist religion, right?
So let me just ask you. Yes, no, or I don't know. Does God exist?
I don't know.
Okay, so you're agnostic.
Okay. But why shouldn't I be, right? I mean, it's the best.
I'm not arguing against agnosticism. What's the title say?
Why be an atheist? But the point is,
so you just admitted there's no good reason to be atheist.
Well, because it's the most logical explanation.
You just admitted there's no good reason to be atheist. You saying that the basic default position is agnosticism, and I would agree with that.
It is the default position, and I would say
I agree. Agnosticism is the default position, but you know it's not atheism. Atheism is an irrational concept to hold.
Well, so is Christianity. I mean,
okay, make that. You just made that claim. I made my argument why atheism is rational. You make your argument why Christianity is irrational.
Right, and I would just say that atheism makes less claims than Christianity does. So it's easier to believe. I'm not saying that you can know for sure. Of course I don't know for sure. But it's easier to take the claims of atheism because they're making less claims.
One's making the claim there is a God. One's making the claim there's not. That's the same amount of claims.
No, Christianity makes more claims than there being a God. Just deism claims that there's a God, right? There's some vague God. We don't know what it
Christianity makes more claims in what world looks like with a God, just like atheism makes claims on what a world looks like without one.
Well, it makes claims such as Jesus is God, right? That's a big claim.
Yes, so that's what the world would look like is if there was a God. And atheism makes the claim that Jesus is not God, but just some historical apocalyptic preacher. So you still have the same amount of claims.
Well, we can show that Jesus existed by the historical evidence, so it's easy to...
You still have the same amount of claims. You said it's simpler because it has fewer claims.
The single claim that atheism makes is that there is no God.
And the single claim that theism makes is that there is a God. Christianity is what that's what I literally just said theism, didn't I? Didn't I just 2 seconds ago just say theism out of my mouth? Or did I say Christianity? Which word came out of my mouth?
Sure, theism makes...
Right, so I said theism, so let me finish my sentence. Don't cut me off and think you got me on something. Right, so theism makes the claim that there is a God. Atheism makes the claim that there is no God. Christianity is making the claim of what that world looks like if that God exists.
Mm-hmm. Just like Islam and Hinduism and all
right.
that.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. So if we're just talking about whether God does or does not exist, it's the same amount of claims, theism or atheism. If we're talking specifically about Christianity, that's what that world looks like. Now, atheists, hold on. Atheists also have a whole bunch of different worldviews underneath them as an umbrella term of what the world will look like under atheism. So for example, there are people that believe in atheism that logic is unbounded as a brute fact within the ether. But not every atheist holds to that. So you start looking at these different worldviews, you're going to get a different amount of claims. But comparing atheism to Christianity is not a true dichotomy. It's a category error.
Well, I agree that atheism and theism is the dichotomy.
Yes.
And I would, and you can categorize Christianity along with all these other theistic cults in my mind, such as Islam. And to me, they're all equivalent. And you can say one is more historically bounded, but if I spoke Arabic, I would have great resources to show you that Islam had historical evidence.
Great. Prove any one of the claims that you just made.
I don't need to.
Then how do you know it's true? You just said that there's enough historical evidence in Islam as there is for Christianity, the same amount if you spoke Arabic. You should be able to back up that claim.
Yes, there is. I mean, there's countless books on it, right? There's tons of text. There's tons of writings. I don't know why I need to show that's true. You just can Google it. I mean, there's tons of it.
So your argument is Google it, bro?
There's so much commentary on Islam, but it
like
doesn't really matter to
me. Name a single hadith.
Why do I care? I'm not
because you haven't actually looked at any of these things, so you don't know if it's true, and you're just assuming that it is. You haven't studied Islam and you haven't studied Christianity. You do not know if they're comparable.
I've studied Christianity a lot more than Islam. I'll tell you that much. As somebody who speaks English and has grown up in the United States, I've studied Christianity a lot more. So
yeah,
that's for sure.
You don't have to study Arabic you don't have to speak Arabic to study Islam.
No, of course not. And you don't have to study
Yeah,
Greek to be
but
a Christian.
yeah.
Exactly.
So you just saying I've studied Christianity more does not mean you've really studied it or understand what it means.
Okay, why should I?
Why should you? Because you're making the claim.
You're making it. You're the
You
one who
just
showed up
you
and
just
wanted
made the
people to call
claim.
in.
You just made the claim that Christianity and
ones
Islam is
proving it.
equivalent. That's your
They are.
claim.
They
Well,
are.
if it's the same, prove it.
What's different? Tell me what's different. And then
So your
maybe we'll-
argument is I'm right until someone proves me wrong. Well, okay, I make the same
Well,
argument. Christianity is right until you prove it wrong.
tell me in what way that's relevant to my point that they're all equivalent theist philosophies. Tell me in what way are they fundamentally different?
That's
that
not how
makes them
arguments
not-
work, right? Oh, watch this. Christianity is uniquely different compared to all the other ones until you prove me wrong. Go ahead.
It is. It is uniquely different, and so is everyone else. They're all uniquely different, depending on how
You
we
just
decide to
said that they were the
classify them.
same. Which one is it? Are they the same or are they different?
In my categorization of them as theist ideologies, they are equivalent. They obviously have differences.
Okay, I'm going to say that they're not equivalent. Prove me wrong.
No, thank you.
Well, that's your whole argument, bro. Is I'm right until
Well, no,
someone proves me
My
wrong.
whole argument is that Christianity is silly. You're claiming there's a sky god. You're
Prove
claiming
that
all
it's
these
silly.
crazy claims.
Prove that it's silly.
You've claimed that somebody rose from the dead. I don't believe that's possible.
How do you know how do you know it's not possible?
Because all the scientific evidence that we have shows that it's not possible. Right?
What scientific evidence shows that it's not possible?
What person in modern history has ever risen from the dead?
Jesus Christ.
In modern history, sir, anything after 1500.
Yeah, so Craig Keener marks about 80 people throughout history that have risen from the dead.
And do you think they're all reincarnations of God?
No, I never made that claim. You just said other. So hold on. Here's the issue. So here's the thing. You just said people don't rise from the dead, therefore Jesus didn't rise from the dead. But if all these other people did rise from the dead, then Jesus is not God. You've created this dichotomy. You've created. Hold on. You've created this dichotomy that makes it so you have an unfalsifiable claim.
Jesus.
Because if Jesus single-handedly rose by himself, right? That can't happen because people don't rise from the dead. If a whole bunch of other people rose from the dead, then Jesus is not God.
Jesus is just one of those many people who rose from the dead. Yeah.
Do you see how that's a unfalsifiable claim now?
I mean, you have to show how he is different.
Notice how you didn't answer my question. Do you see how you made an unfalsifiable claim?
Everything is on. I can say that. I can take that claim and make it about any.
So you're still not answering my question. Do you notice how you made an unfalsifiable claim?
Who cares?
Oh my gosh.
Who cares?
Have a good one. Yeah, I don't believe in any of this crap, and we're all wasting our time. So have a good day.
All right, man. Appreciate you. God bless. He just left on his own.
Well, at least he admitted it.
What always gets me is the people who usually have the stupidest arguments have the most confidence.
A lot of confidence.
It's the people that come in, hear every word you have to say, and listen and hang on the words. Those are the people you got to be worried about. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Hello, I'm good, thank you. I'm 40.
All right, bro. There's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Prove me wrong. Go ahead.
Oh, yes, I can give my. Can I just? I thought that was a really good topic you went into about the same amount of claims. I thought that you got out kind of, you got away kind of easy on that one.
Okay.
Because, like, I know when you go to the more kind of philosophical, kind of academic, you can see that a non-theistic worldview can have a lot of different claims. But just by the definition of atheism, like, why is it so hard to see that, like, religious people generally and Christians have more claims, since you can accept the same worldview?
Yeah. So
like there's
again,
a material world, physical world, right?
Yeah. So theist and atheist have the same amount of claims.
Yeah, but that doesn't. I mean, okay. Let me walk you through this. An atheist you can have the same worldview that there is there's a physical reality out there. There's a material world. There's a universe, and and an atheist can believe all that, accept that, just as a theist would. I don't know if you're a young Earth creationist, probably not, since you seem kind of intelligent.
I believe in old Earth, yeah.
Yes, and you see, you believe in like there was some kind of like, do you believe the universe is 14 billion? You know, do you accept that kind of science?
Well, I haven't looked at it. So I haven't looked at any of the data for how old the universe is and how we know. If I was to say it is 14 billion years old, I'm just appealing to a majority vote.
Yeah, but but you're not. So you see, you can accept all that, and that's all. Like that would be an atheist worldview. So you have the same worldview, and then you add stuff if you have religious claims.
The atheist
So
worldview.
why would you?
So hold on. Theist worldview doesn't reject the natural state of the universe.
Exactly, and atheist doesn't either. So
but
that's where you're
that has zero to do with atheism or theism. That's a category error.
No,
That's like
no,
that's like
it's not,
saying
because
look at the snail. That's like saying look at the snail.
Dude,
We both
don't
hold on.
use-
That's like saying I listen to you speak. Let me speak. It's like saying look at the snail. We both agree the snail exists. So therefore you believe God exists. So therefore you believe in one more extra claim. Right? It's a category error. So we both
No,
agree.
don't-
We both
sorry,
agree.
but
Still
don't-
speaking. We both agree the totality of the universe exists as its state. There's no disagreement there. The question is, did it come through like a natural means or a supernatural means? So you're saying it's a natural means. I'm saying it's a supernatural means. And by my supernatural, all I'm saying is a being with an unbound power. So the claims are the same. God exists. God doesn't exist.
Yeah, but the claims. I'm sorry, but this is like repeating record. You're just saying a category error, but that's like just rhetorical of you, because it's not. You can be an atheist. That just means that you don't believe in a God.
But
you can still
rhetorical of
believe-
me? Hold on. How does that rhetorical?
Yes, you are.
How's
Please
that-
listen to me.
No, how is that
Well, the
rhetorical?
difference-
I'm asking a clarifying question. You said it's rhetorical of me. How is that rhetorical?
Yeah, because it's not a category error.
What does rhetorical mean?
Well, it can mean when you know try to use a certain kind of style of talking to sound like you are convincing.
What?
That can be a rhetorical.
That's not rhetorical. I
Well,
understand what you're
that
saying.
is-
Now I know what you mean by rhetorical, but you're just saying I'm using.
Yeah, in
I'm using.
colloquial sense.
Yeah, you're saying no. It's not. That's not even the colloquial sense of rhetorical. But you're saying I'm using semantics.
Oh my god. No, I'm not. Okay. Anyway, so the point is that is you just prove my point. You're trying to like pin me to this. Like it's not a category.
I'm not trying to pin you.
right?
I'm trying to understand what you're saying. Because if you use a word and I understand it,
think
hold
so.
on. Let me speak.
Okay.
If you use a word in a way differently than I understand it, then it's going to confuse me. So I need to clarify how you're using that word. Now I know what your goal is now with using that word, which is what rhetoric is what your goal is in using language. So now I know what you're using that word for. So now we can continue. You're saying that I'm trying to sound smarter than I actually am.
Oh my god. Okay, it doesn't matter. No, okay, I take
Oh,
that.
that
back.
does
Whatever.
matter,
So
actually.
the point is that you are trying to. When I gave you a list of stuff that atheists and theists can accept about the universe, and you're still trying to force in that you have the same amount of claims, even though it's obvious that you can have the same claims
Watch
about
this.
the universe.
Watch this. Does God exist?
According to atheists, no.
Okay. A theist, what are they going to say?
Yes.
How many claims was that each?
2. I mean, sorry, each 1, each.
What just happened? Was it 1 each?
Yeah, but you went for the difference. I'm saying you can have the same amount of claim about the world as a theist. Like you can believe that it started like a long time ago, like billions of years. You can believe in natural process. You can believe in evolution. Hopefully, most intelligent theists do that. And you know what I mean? Like, so we can have all these claims about what the atheists can make claims about the natural process, about Big Bang. Theists can agree, right? So the difference, so you're dead wrong when you believe that this just to be an atheist, you don't have to make other claims to be an atheist. And just this, the difference is that you can have a lot of claims about the world, and then when it comes to the supernatural claims, that's when you start to say that there's
Great. Okay. Phenomenal. From the natural explanation, explain the totality of contingent things.
Are you changing subject now?
I'm not changing the subject, right? Explain the
you
totality.
See that they see that doesn't make sense.
Explain the totality of contingent things.
Oh my God, I have no idea how to explain that. Why you see this is rhetorical? You want to be smart. I get
Okay,
it, but that's
the
point is
so
still
hold
that
on.
it's
No,
very
no, no, no,
easy to show.
no. You don't understand what I'm saying, right? So let me explain. So
Yeah,
the totality of contingent things. You and I both agree, and that's basically the argument you're making. We all agree on the contingent things existing. We look around the universe, we see the stars, we see the moon, we see everything. Now we both have a question.
Reducing it?
Hold on.
You're reducing
Hold on. Let me speak. Why does nobody see? Here's the thing. Here's how I know you're not the smart one in this conversation, because you don't listen. Let me speak.
Yeah, well, that's the most important thing.
Still not listening. So we both agree, right, that we have this totality of contingent things, which is exactly what you're are trying to elaborate on. So we look at this totality of contingent things.
It's not,
I'm still fucking speaking, you fucking idiot. Shut up.
Oh, now you true colors are showing.
Yes, people know I'm a cusser. This is not a surprise. Shut the fuck up for 2 seconds.
Oh my God. Wow.
Right. Awesome. So we're looking at shut the fuck up, you fucking idiot, you fucking moron, you fucking nincompoop. Shut the fuck up. So we have this totality.
So you were strawman.
Oh my gosh.
So do you want to understand me?
No, we want you to listen.
Okay, because you strawman me. So can I explain?
No.
That wasn't my point.
No.
The totality thing is not my point at all. Sorry, I thought you were kind of, not a baby. That's why I came up there. I'm sorry.
You know what's a good sign of maturity? If you can just shut up and have a conversation.
Hold on, I'm gonna mute.
Well, that's interesting. You would say that after he just showed that side of himself. So no, I'm not reducing it to one argument about the continuity, the totality of the continuity. That is not at all what I'm saying. There are a lot of atheists are not philosophically, literate in that sense. So they're still atheists, and you're trying to reduce it. Oh, they're making that claim. No, they're making a lot of claims about the universe just as theists. So of course it doesn't make sense to say that there is the same amount of claims, because you have natural claims and then you have supernatural claims. So there's a whole category where you have the same amount of claims. Supernatural claims, atheists makes none. So you're still dead wrong. It's not a category mistake. It's just rhetorical, and it doesn't make sense because anyone can show you easily that the supernatural claims are added upon the natural claims. It's not that religious people only do supernatural claims and they just happen to be just as much as this natural claim. No. Sensible theist makes natural claims just as atheist. Then religious people make supernatural claims. So then they add a lot of claims. Simple. Yeah. Thank you. I just proved you. It's very simple.
Can I respond now? Are you going to actually let me finish? Oh, he left. The highest level of intelligence, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so I'm going to answer it, even though he left, and I wish he was here to respond to it. So all he explained was the totality of all contingent things. He just said, we all agree that there's universe, that there's evolution, that there's the sun, that there's the moon, that there's all these things that exist. We agree. That is, by definition, everything that he elaborated on is the totality, which just means everything that is contingent. And contingent is things that could be different, which is our universe. It could be different. Totality of contingent things. We both have to ask the question, how does the totality of contingent things come to be? That's the PSR. So how does the totality of contingent things come to be? He can't deny the PSR because he's a man of science. Science relies on the PSR. So if we're both asking the question, how does the totality of contingent things come to be? I say, it's God. He says, it's not God. That's the same amount of claims, not God, the totality of contingent things. Now, he can make the argument, which I can hear it in the ether right now, he would just add on another contingent thing, in which I would have to remind him that I'm talking about the totality of contingent things. All contingent things need an explanation. And this is where we get into the difference between theism and atheism. I say it's God, you say it's not God. So we both have the exact same amount of claims. We both claim all of the contingent things exist, same amount of claims. And then I claim it's God, that's another claim. And then you claim it's not God, that's another claim. Those are 2 claims total per side. Anyways, I apologize for cussing, guys. But my goodness, he would not let me speak. Got to get back to that silly goose attitude. But I did not have a good night's sleep last night. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? Hello? Oh, hold on. I'm muted. There we go. Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry, how old are you?
Hey, I'm 30.
All right, bro. There's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Prove me wrong. Go ahead.
I don't know if you accept agreeance, but I just had a question. In short, I agree with the prompt, but I did have a question for you.
Just keeping it open for disagreeers, my friend. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How old are you?
I'm 26.
All right, bro. There's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Prove me wrong. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was right in the middle of washing my hands and I've just got water all over my screen. Give me 1 second.
Yep.
I know you don't like this, but this is just to back something up you said. The person that argued with you for the longest time about not having any atheistic claim, he left his live and ended it in anger, saying he does not exist and God cannot bless me. And that was as explicit statements as he ran away. And I just thought that was amazing after working so hard to deny making any positive claim. So thank you for what you're doing. I appreciate all your hard effort. But I just wanted to highlight that because that's just an incredible example of the good you do.
Thanks, man. All right, appreciate you. God bless.
Fair point.
Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Yeah, I'm 22 and I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Good, man. Just 1 second.
I completed pre-canner this weekend. My fiancé and I finally had a deep conversation sharing our faith. We prayed together for the first time last night. We worship a living God. Stand fast, my brothers in Christ. God bless you.
That's huge, bro. That's awesome. Congratulations. I'm very happy for you. That's awesome. All right, man. There's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Prove me wrong. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would say there is a good reason to be atheist, and the fact that I know several religions believe that God is all loving and merciful.
Mm-hmm.
And from my research, 3 to 4% of babies are born with birth defects or some type of illnesses, where 20% of them die. So what sins have these babies committed to deserve this?
Okay, so finally someone actually making a positive argument. Yeah, and you're based for doing that. So the problem evil is basically what you're using. So my question is, you're saying that this is like an all-loving God. Could you then concede that there is a possibility of a not all-loving God existing?
I mean, that's still a God, though. And that's some sort of God, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but like, for example, could there be like a deistic type God that doesn't actually give a rat's butt about us?
Yeah, it's possible.
Okay, so then atheism is still not a good standard to hold to, right?
I got you there, but then why would you want to support a God that doesn't give a rat's buzz? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's fine. But as long as you agree that's not a good case for atheism, it's just a good case against like theism, like a specific type of theism.
I got you. But so my other point is,
well, I'm willing to address that. I just want to make sure that we're clear on that. That's not an argument really for atheism. Do we agree? You're out of the app. I can't hear you.
my bad. I just got a phone call.
Yeah. So did you hear what I asked?
No, I just got a call. My bad.
Right. So we agree that the problem of evil isn't an argument for atheism. It's just an argument against specific types of theism. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. So it's a specific type of theism, but yeah, not a good argument for atheism. Do you want to keep on that argument? We could touch on why it's not a good argument against theism too, or do you want to switch it and try to make a case for atheism?
No, I just had another thought that so before, let's say before humans were, you believe in evolution, right?
I'm agnostic.
But do you believe in the evolution of humans?
I'm agnostic.
Okay. So what science says is before we were Neanderthals, we were just like animals, like monkeys. This is what science says, and this is what the information we have available.
And why does science say that?
With research,
And how do they come to their conclusions?
their own findings.
And what did they find?
DNA.
Okay,
Our DNA is very
they
closely
found
related.
DNA. I can find DNA. I can look at my arm and I can see DNA. So what does that mean?
I mean, they compared our DNAs to like even monkeys.
Okay, so they
And
looked at our
monkeys like
DNA.
creatures.
They looked at a monkey's DNA, and they found what?
Our DNA is closely matched with them. I know that. But
Okay, it closely matches with a monkey. It also has a
Yes.
10% match with a banana. So what's that mean?
it's 10%. I'm saying, let's see how. Can I look up how much of the match it is with the monkeys?
Yeah, it's something in like the 90 percentile or something like that.
Yeah, it's very high.
Yeah.
That's the bigger difference.
Yeah, so what does that mean though? Like all I'm seeing is a correlation. So there's a correlate. Why are we coming to certain
Well, that's a
conclusions?
major correlate. My bad. That's a major correlate that proves that
Correlation
proves evolution.
correlation isn't causation. So we see a correlate, that doesn't mean there's a causation. Unless you're willing to say that we have that the banana is my cousin from very far away.
I see your point, but I feel like us as animals created religion ourselves, in which other religions, like let's say Christianity and Hinduism.
What does that have
came
to do with
before.
anything we're just talking about? That was just like a complete shift.
No, it was supposed. I was supposed to build on that. What I was saying of how we evolutionized as humans from animals.
Well, that's kind
And
of
we-
begging the question, because I'm asking you to prove the evolutionary thing first.
The evolutionary thing is like how 83% of people are religious in this world. That's
Mhm.
how like probably more than 80% of people believe in the evolution of human.
Okay, let me just grant this. Let's say we know for an absolute fact, there's no doubt, no way anybody could ever deny that speciation is true within evolution. Then my question for you is how can we and why should we care about truth at all?
Because we want to know if we're living the purposeful life. If we're living the we
How
don't
do-
we don't want to know we don't want to live a lie, if that
yeah,
makes sense.
yeah. So how did we know that we evolved for truth?
I mean, that's the same thing. That's very similar to saying, how do we know God is real, right? Like, we really don't.
Well, I think there is good argument for God being real, and I think that's actually a fundamental reason to rely on truth is God's existence. So I'm just saying, if we just have evolutionary processes and speciation, how could I trust my rationale at all? How do I know I evolved to actually look for truth, and I'm not just evolving for the process or for the survival of my own species? Like, for example, the reason that humans are like scared of the dark is because there could be animals in the dark that mean to eat us. That was an evolutionary process that built into us to literally tell us a lie, that because there could be nothing in the dark, but our brain tells us there is something just in case there is something. So that's a lie that we've evolved to do. So how do we know we didn't evolve just to have our rationality continuously lie to us?
But the point you just gave proves evolution, man. And adaptation.
The whole argument I'm making is granting that evolution is true. That's what I said at the start of my argument. I'm going to grant that evolution is true. Then I'm asking you all these questions that come from it.
Okay, so what was your question based on that?
How can we trust our rationality?
Through science.
That's
Science-based
circular.
test.
Do you need to use your rationality to use science?
No, but you could use it to back it up.
Do you see how that's circular?
I got you. Can we, I got one more point if we can move on to there.
I guess.
So why would God create our souls if he's all knowing and doing? Wouldn't this be like a waste of time when time is eternal for him?
What? What does that have to do? What does that have to do with atheism?
That means God's not there, because why would he create us in the first place? If there was a God, that means we're just animals that think there's a God.
What?
It's like I'm saying there's no purpose for God creating us.
Again, how does that disprove him?
Because there is no purpose for us to be created by God.
What if he did it just because he likes to watch the world burn and he wanted to see us all suffer?
And that would be more demonic.
Okay, but he'd still exist, wouldn't he?
I guess, bro. But most people believe in a God that's good.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. That's irrelevant to anything that we're talking about. Like, why does that matter? At one point, most people believed that black people are 3/5 of a person or whatever it was. That doesn't mean it's true.
So you're saying there's a possibility God could just be having ill intentions?
I'm not. So everybody comes up and like everybody today, including yourself, lacks reading comprehension skills. Because what does the claim say above me or below me, depending on where you're watching? What does it say?
There's no good reason. Hold up, just covering it.
Mm-hmm.
To be atheist or Muslim.
Right. And then everybody comes up and then expects me to make the argument that there's a good reason to be theist. But that's not the topic, is it?
You're right.
I'm right?
But then you're saying there's no. Why did it say Muslim in specific?
Because I don't think there's good reasons to be atheist or Muslim. These are topics that I've studied.
I got you.
At some point, I'm going to study Latter-day Saints. I'm going to throw them in there too.
You got it.
All right. God bless. Today's a rough day. Today's a rough day. Let's see if we can get one good conversation today.
You
That's
had
the
one
goal.
with the agnostic guy.
True. Very true. We did. That's true. Count our blessings. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Hello there. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes. How old are you?
Hey, I'm 33. Sorry, I'm excited to be on.
Awesome, man. All right. There's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Prove me wrong. Go ahead.
I guess I'd like to start against so many of the conversations I hear on these types of lives. You believe in God, is that correct?
I am a Christian.
So you believe in God. I do not believe in God. I see it very pointless to debate specifically over a proof. I'm not going to prove you and you're not going to prove me. Instead, I would really like to discuss the more the daily life that we live, like how we live, what we believe, and maybe argue on or discuss a good point in that side. And like you just said on that last guy, it's me discussing as to a good reason of why I believe what I believe, not an anti towards yours.
Okay, so why is atheism true?
Not so much of a, let's see, I believe, well, first off, I guess I'd like to say I'm atheist, but I'm also Buddhist. And I think that there's a lot as far as getting rid of the sorrows of our lives and getting through the despair, getting through those hard moments. I think there are a lot of ways that we can travel that path that I haven't really been able to read personally in Christian texts, not easy, but a way to navigate that other than just, live as Jesus did.
Okay, so that's not an argument.
I guess the good reason is that I think that Buddhism is a very full encompassing path that has no deity or God within it, and I think it's a very solid or perfect way to be able to live your life in the happiest way.
Okay, it's still not an argument.
That's not a good reason to be happy and to be like to not have sorrow in your life.
Right. So if it made me happy to start unaliving a whole bunch of people around me, should I do it?
Well, now wait a minute. How would that? I don't really think that's the argument there.
You said it's a good reason because it makes you happy.
I also said that it was a way to remove the sorrow and the despair from our lives. So I don't believe that unaliving from all lives, from all people. There's more. I feel like I am trying to very quickly paraphrase a simple question to a very complex conversation. So I apologize if I misworded something. I mean to share compassion and to allow love.
Why should you care? Why should you care about others sharing compassion with other people? If you can find your happiness through unaliving a whole bunch of other people and you have no sorrow within yourself, why not do that?
I believe killing is wrong.
Why?
I don't think that we should harm others.
Why?
I know the experience of feeling pain and I don't wish to push that onto others.
Yeah, that's a descriptive thing. Why is it wrong to do so?
I feel like as we built a society getting past like the Neolithic period in time, and we agreed as a people to live within civilizations with or without God, polytheistic, monotheistic, we decided as a people to set about laws, some of those incorporating things like not murdering.
So just what the collective group of monkeys say?
I feel like that's why it is a widely spread thing. Yes. You're
okay.
asking
For example, in World War II, where Schmittler decided that Jews weren't worth anything, and he started unaliving them, was he wrong to do so? Because the collective people all agreed that was fine.
Well, no. Again, I think the basis here that keeps getting argued is that like I can be against murder. I don't understand how this is
murder.
I apologize. I'm so sorry. I'm not used to the lingo. Any kind of unaliving or any form of that type of not living.
You're against it, but you're not giving me a reason why.
I don't know how. I guess thoroughly how to explain that. Like it's wrong at a core concept to harm others. There's just no.
You're just saying it's wrong because it's wrong. Why?
No, there's no point. What benefit do you get out of it? Why?
Fun.
Well, why can it not get flipped to that side then and say then like, okay, well, what's the benefit of going and doing that to so many?
It brings me happiness. Because that's your argument for Buddhism. To be a Buddhist is it brings you happiness. So if it brings me happiness,
I feel like the happiness was a singular word that got added to a group of them, and I feel like not everything that brings an individual happiness is a legal or viable thing within.
Okay, then it's just special pleading. You're just saying these things are different because they're different.
I guess I think that in being an atheist, at least the form of atheism that I plead every day, it leads me through a life where I have less anxiety and less mental health, me personally.
Right. So if me personally, if I become atheist and I decide that, hey, what makes me more happy and gives me less anxiety is murdering people, why shouldn't I do that?
Because you would go to jail.
Only if I get caught.
Okay, you're right. Then you would become a serial killer. Is that your argument?
Serial unaliver. Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Oh my God, I'm sorry. So I feel like then if we're gonna just be kind of semantic with the wording on it, if there's no good reason, then if I provide a good reason as though it has a possibility of lessening your despair and your sorrow and ridding those more negative emotions, so we can labeling it like that, that's a good reason, right? If you had a possibility, I feel like
If you want to say that's a good reason for Buddhism, then it's also a good reason for me to be a serial killer, serial unaliver. That's what I'm trying to show you, is that your epistemology, your standard for what makes something good, is inconsistent.
well, I guess I feel like the problem here too is that the element of good can be debated. I mean, what makes good good? What, you know, the reason we call good is
Well,
because
the way I'm using good here is not a moral claim of good. It's a good standard, as in it's a rational point.
So is the rational point to have any kind of a like philosophical guide, or specifically to like theism?
What?
So if again, saying that there is a good reason to be atheist.
I'm saying there's not.
So if it gives you a chance at having a path through life that can lessen those negative emotions, if you will.
Right, but again, you're just going full circle, because I could take that same standard and I could apply it to being a serial killer or serial unaliver, and you can't tell me why it's wrong.
But I can. You're debating those topics. I mean, you're saying, you know.
Okay, then tell me, why is it wrong? What's if being a serial killer makes me happiness and gets me more fruitfulness in life? Why should I care if it hurts others?
Because you chose to live in a society in which that is
I didn't choose to live in it. So just popular vote.
Don't you currently choose
So
to
if I
live
can convince, if I can convince society that it's okay for me to serial unalive, let's say, black people. Right? I convince everybody, the most people in North America, because white people are a majority in considering it to black people. And I say, hey, let's all start just unaliving black people for our own happiness and joy. And we have the popular collective vote to do it. What is wrong with me doing that?
Well, I feel like the happiness got really clung to, and I don't think that happiness really is the key to my life, or really anybody's. I think that a wide range of emotions is healthy, and being able to have.
Right. So I get all the positive qualia of doing this thing. What's wrong with me doing it?
Murdering.
Murdering. Yeah. What's wrong with You're just saying it's wrong because it's wrong. I have all the positive qualia, which is basically all the mental states that are good for me. I get from doing that. Why not do it?
You are requiring to get that through other people?
Yes. What's wrong with that?
Taking from others to get yourself?
Yeah. Why is that wrong?
I don't know how to word how to not utilize others for your own gain. I do think that it's morally wrong to utilize anyone in that, whether it's as extreme as you're mentioning, or even a much more normalized situation. I don't think that you should utilize others for your
you're going
gain.
full circle like 10 times. You can't give me a reason why it's wrong. So if your standard of like, I'm Buddhist because it gives me all the positive qualia, then me becoming a serial unaliver, giving me the positive qualia, is a good reason to be a serial unaliver.
Well,
unless you want to admit positive qualia is not a good thing to seek out.
I feel like one can actually play out in reality, and then the other one is a very hypothetical.
The other one plays out in reality all the time. Do you not know that G-sides happen all the time?
So any form of a positivity is just, you're going to say that that's the full circle? Any kind of like, well, there's, you could get this or get this or get this.
Your standard of positive qualia is what I'm saying is full circle, because all I have to do is take any situation and say, if I get the positive qualia from it, then it's good.
I guess I would just think that, like, in practice, that it wouldn't be. In my opinion, that it's like, yes, you can make this on paper,
But
and that's perfectly fine. Out of
on
the debate
paper,
standpoint, you can say it on paper, and I get okay. But the reality, and that's
but
what I thought we
no,
were talking
in
about,
reality,
is
people
a
have done that.
serious
Genghis Khan.
And how is Genghis Khan's schmurders or unalivings actually recorded and thought about within history?
Because
so yes,
Genghis
in that
Khan,
moment,
Genghis
you're
Khan,
very right. In that moment, there
hold,
were
hold on.
convinced.
Genghis Khan believed that his race was the more superior race, so he went around unaliving all sorts of people, graping and pillaging for his own pleasure, his own desire. He graped so many people that there's like a 1% chance somebody has his DNA. Right? That's like nowadays. So there's like a 1% chance somebody has his DNA because he just went around doing it because he received a whole bunch of positive qualia from it.
But again, I think there's a big difference between the positive and the anti-negative, which is more where I was coming from. I tried to say this earlier. I very incorrectly and ashamedly used the word happiness when I meant to say the lack of sorrow.
That's why I'm not saying happiness anymore because you explained that. That's why I'm saying positive qualia.
Okay.
Which would include the lack of sorrow.
I guess I don't think that is.
Has he been voted
I don't
out?
think on an individual. Did you say I was voted out of here?
No, not yet. No. I was checking to see if you were because we've gone full circle 10 times. We haven't moved forward.
Okay. Well, I'm really sorry, guys. I really was trying to, I guess, make different points, and none of this had any to do with the points I wanted to say. So I wish you guys the best of luck. Sorry, I wasn't a very good debater, I guess.
You're all right, man. You seem like a nice guy.
You weren't voted out.
You weren't voted out. You can keep going. I was just checking because we've gone full circle. That's all I was checking.
No, we have, and that's I don't know how to. I mean, I guess debatedly, like, you got me on this point. I mean, like, that's you totally. I very well see your point. My last stance is just that I can't. In practice, I don't think that would work for people as a whole.
We all agree that it's wrong, but the thing is that we have a standard of why it's wrong and you don't. So that's something maybe you should look into.
What do you mean by I don't have a standard as to why it's wrong?
Why is it wrong?
Well, that's why we've gone full circle over and over and over again.
Because you can't give us a standard.
What do you mean by? I guess maybe I'm misunderstanding the question entirely. What is your standard on that?
Our standard is it's wrong to do things because people are made in the image of God, and God has given a certain standard in a certain way that we should be treated and operated. The standard in a certain way comes from his intrinsic nature and how he operates between the Father and the Son and the love between them. So this love is intrinsic to God's nature, axiomatic, so to speak, and this trickles down into our nature in the way that we are created. So this is a certain standard on why we live by these ways. Now, eventually, everything always pushes back to an axiom, but I'm saying you're using circularity. We're not.
I guess I feel like mine is rather similar, though, in the sense that within Buddhist teaching and trying to show people and getting them to enlightenment and showing them a positive way to very passively, not utilizing other people, navigate their own lives.
You're saying that's the same thing. Can you just steal man what I said? Because you said we're saying the same thing, but that's not even remotely close to what I said.
I guess I just meant that, like, a standard that is set up by a defined individual, and saying that individual has stated to you, just like Buddha had stated to his disciples.
Right. So it's just your own opinion again. So we're going full circle. So if I decided to have a different opinion, why am I wrong?
Well?
No, I didn't.
You just said that yours is from the text.
No, I didn't say it was from the text.
What?
No point did I bring in the text. I didn't bring up the Bible at all.
Well, God made you in his image. Where did you get that information? From the text?
Well, yes, that's where I understand that comes from, is from the text. But I didn't say that it's Bible says, therefore it's true.
Knowledge comes from the text.
Yeah, I learned history through the text, how God has interacted with us. But I did, hold on, let me speak. I did not say that it's true because the Bible says it's true. Or some guy said it was true, did I?
I feel like that's an implication there. I really do.
Silly goose.
This narrative is from that text. Same as me. there were individuals.
Okay, I can remove the image bearer quality and I could still say the same thing, right? So I could say the reason that we have a certain moral standard because it's intrinsic to the nature that is God. God is all good because that is the only logical sense that he can be, because he cannot be evil, because by his definition of being and substantiating all things, it's a purely selfless act. And that trickles down from that. I don't need the Bible to come to that conclusion, do I?
No, I just also feel that I feel like you're giving a lot of control to God there. And then I feel like the control is within ourselves.
If God exists, who would have control, us or God?
Well, I guess I feel like that's a bit of a confusing statement that I always receive from Christianity, that he gives you free will, but is he in control or does he give you the free will?
Yeah, that's completely different subject. If God is real, who is in control, us or him?
If the Christian God is real,
I didn't say Christian God, did I?
Well, no, I guess I apologize. I was clear. Which God do you mean, or do you just mean any singular
The highest form of God, the highest form of being. If it was real, would it be in control or us?
If a God, I guess again, I feel like control can be debated there. I mean, like, are you saying they have more power than us? Or are you saying they would control every
Yes, who is the possessors of power? Who is the possessor of power? Us or that God?
Again, depending on how you want to define power. If you want to talk about whether it's the free will,
What's 2 plus 2?
Circular here. 4.
Okay, Gary, you can answer a question. If the God who created literally everything that exists, who would have the power? Us or him?
He would.
Great. So what do you mean I'm giving him too much power? He already has it.
But if I disagree with that statement,
great. I don't care if you disagree with it. I'm saying I have a reason to actually validate my morality and why things are rational and why are good. You don't.
I feel like we have the same reason.
No, you don't.
We have texts that we both read.
Oh, thank God. God bless. Have a great day. I didn't argue from the texts. Just one person, just one decent conversation. We had 2 decent conversations today, please.
You're asking for too much.
I'm asking for too much. Modern Brain came in with $5. Atheists, you only believe in God for emotional comfort. Also atheists, your God is evil. Make up your mind. Aviator, objectively, we already went through that one. We did this one too. We did this one. And Bedrock, atheists, no proof of God. Also atheists, we come from stars. And we did this one as well. Thank you guys. Thank you. Today, I don't know what's going on today. I don't know if it's me or them. I did not get a good night's sleep. I'm a little grumpy. I did do a 1 cuss out session, but it happens. Abby, entertain them. I gotta use the washroom.
Okay. We prayed. We didn't pray at the start, I don't think, but we did pray over breakfast. So that was right before we started. So there's that. I don't see any questions or not. John is tired. John's always tired. John is always tired. I am kind of tired as well. Someone has a case of the Mondays, yeah. Well, I don't know. Some days are good. I think it's because it's like kind of cold and stormy, maybe. Maybe it's the weather. My cross stitch is gonna be a barn with some cows and a red truck with a Christmas tree and then puppies. It's way bigger than my last one, so it's gonna take me a long time.
All right, let's bring up another guest. Were you entertained?
No. But nobody's asking any questions. There's nothing for me to talk about.
Guys, smash the like button, share live, do the things you need to do. If you want to see me crash out or show people me crash out, today's probably the day. Today's the day.
No crash outs.
Silly gooses. Silly goose. Silly goose. Francis, hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Howdy, can you hear me?
I can hear you, man. How old are you?
19. I don't know why that's important.
Because I only talk to people that are adults. When were you born?
2006.
Is that right, Abby?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, man. There's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Go ahead.
I guess I'll start. I was raised actually Hindu, interestingly enough. And I'm wondering why you believe in the Bible rather than, say, following the Vedas.
So notice how you didn't actually address the topic. What's the topic at hand today?
Okay, no good reason to be a theist or Muslim. Give me a second, please.
No good reason to be an atheist or Muslim.
Atheist or Muslim. My
Yeah.
apologies. Okay, I'll start with a really simple question then. Do you have any good reason to be a theist? What's your reason to be a theist?
Okay, so you're just assuming you're the default and you're right unless someone can prove you wrong?
No, I'm just asking you what your reason is.
So is the topic here, there's good reason to be a theist, or is the topic, there's no good reason to be atheist? He left.
Surprise, surprise. I just like how long he was like, all right, give me a second. Let me read this. And he's like, okay, let me ask you a question.
John is cancer in human form. I wish I was a cancer, because then I would spread and then I would be in control. Because if I was cancer, I would spread and I'd start taking over the cells and I'd start manipulating, and then I would be in control, and then I would get to decide what all the rules are, and I would get to decide how the world is run.
See what you've done.
And there'd be nothing you could do about it. And you'd have no reason or basis to tell me I was wrong to do so outside you don't like it. But if I got the big stick, if I did it, woof, my goodness, I really wish I was a cancer. Could you imagine just hundreds of me just spreading out into the world? That'd be just phenomenal.
That's a scary idea.
That'd be phenomenal. Actually, I'm going to start a school on how to be John, and I'm going to start teaching people to be more like me. And then I'm going to start giving them debate platforms, and we're just going to call it the Cancer Society.
I think that's already a thing. My favorite woman in the Bible, some Christian Killian asked, is Jael.
Who? Oh, the one who stabbed
the one that drove the tent pick into the guy's head.
Yeah, she's pretty badass.
Gangster.
Schmittler. Hello, Howard. No, I'm not going to do that. Get out of here. He came up with the name Schmittler.
Yeah. Yeah. Not a good start.
6 heels down. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. I'm 41 years old.
All right, man. There's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Prove me wrong. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I don't know. Can we agree on what the term atheist means? Because to me, it means a lack in a belief of God.
Sounds like you got this like DJ system going on, like whoop, bop, beep, beep.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let me try getting off these headphones.
Hi, Mitchell.
Hello. Sorry. Hey, can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's way better.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, you're good.
Yeah. So I was just wondering if we can agree on a definition of atheism.
Okay, what's your definition of atheism?
So for me, it's a lack in a belief in God.
What does it mean to lack a belief?
Is to not have a belief.
Right. So it's just saying you don't believe something exists. So does God exist? Yes, no, or I don't know.
I have no good reason to believe that.
It's yes, no, or I don't know, man. It's a true dichotomy.
So, can you phrase the question? Do I believe that God exists? Yes, no, or
I don't know.
I mean, I would say ultimately I don't know.
Okay, so then you're just agnostic, not atheist.
Well, for me, like I said, I don't have a belief that there is a God. So for me, I consider that atheism.
Okay, so does God exist? Yes, no, or I don't know.
I don't think so, but I don't know that with
Okay, so then you're
certainty.
agnostic.
Well, like I said, I mean, I guess we're just not going to agree on the definition of atheism.
Well, no, your
Which
definition
is,
of atheism is incoherent. And it's actually argued in philosophy that this Lacktheism position is an incoherent position because atheist has to be the antithesis to theist.
okay, well, I don't know, because everyone has a different definition of God, though.
Can you show me, but here's the thing, can you show me a single like prominent philosopher that holds to Lacktheism being a prominent definition or a good definition for
No,
atheism?
I'm not familiar with contemporary philosophy.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a social thing that's gone around, basically saying that atheism is synonymous with agnosticism.
Well,
It's a
I mean,
cop.
that's
It's a
a
cop
group.
out answer.
Well, you can say that, but I mean, if that's how atheists are calling themselves, I don't understand why that's not acceptable for you.
This is not true.
Just because you call yourself something doesn't mean it's coherent. Right? Just because you all
Okay.
collectively agree that this is what it means doesn't mean it's a coherent position. Just like if Christians all collectively agreed that we are the correct position, that doesn't mean that's true.
That, I can understand that, but I mean, it's like, do you believe that Zeus exists?
Yeah, actually, I do.
Oh, okay. Like as a deity?
Yep.
Oh, all right. Well, that's interesting to me. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to get very far in this conversation then, because I feel like we're just not communicating
Well,
in a way that's using definitions that we can agree on.
Yeah, the definition for atheism, by definition, theism, there's God. Atheism, there is no God. Gnosticism, there's knowledge. Agnosticism, there's no knowledge or it cannot be known. Right? So that's what the A is in front of those things, to say it's the antithesis to the thing. It's the opposite of the thing. So if you're just if you're just saying atheism is I lack the belief, well, what the hell does that mean? And generally, if you just ask, it means no, I don't think there's a God, or I don't know. And if it's I don't know, it's agnosticism. I don't know or it cannot be known.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, it's a difference in definition, and you yourself are like saying that, like, some people argue that's not a good definition. It's like, well, some people argue it is.
So categorically, what's different between lacktheism and agnosticism?
It's I don't know if I could say that categorically, because like everyone has their own personal understanding of.
I'm asking you your personal understanding. What is the difference between lacktheism and agnosticism? Why are they not just synonymous?
I think there's in some cases they are synonymous, and in some cases, like, people have a stronger feeling towards one, like they're like, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure there's not a God. And some people are like, I don't know, and I think maybe there is, though.
Yeah, the problem is everything works on probability. So it's either it's probable or it's improbable. Right? One of the two. We can't have absolute certainty about most things out there. There are some things we can have certainty about, but most things we can't have certainty about. So just simply asking the question, yes, no, or maybe. That's when you're making a claim towards something, it's either true, false, or you don't know if it's true or false. Right? This is how the world works. This is the three laws of logic. It is black and white. And you're trying to find this like in-between world where it's like, I'm not willing to say it's true. I'm not willing to say it's false. I'm just not convinced of it. Well, if you're not convinced of it, then you're saying that I don't know or it's false. Those are the only two options. You cannot say I don't know and know at the same time. That's a contradiction.
Well, I'm not saying no. I'm saying that I have not been convinced of a God, and I think it's very unlikely that one exists, but I don't know.
So
I don't know.
yes, no, or I don't know.
I mean, I told you my answer, and if that's not good enough for you, then I guess that's the end of the conversation.
But it is good enough for me. I'm just showing you have a contradiction. You said I don't know, so you're agnostic.
I'm not going to go through this again. If you don't understand my position,
I understand your position. It's incoherent.
I disagree.
Okay, then show me the categorical difference between your position and agnosticism.
Like I said, it's a spectrum of belief between like certainty in one way and certainty in another. But like an understanding that
Yeah. So
there isn't
something
100% certainty.
something existing does not exist
Yeah.
on a spectrum. It either exists or it doesn't exist, or you're unaware of its existence.
Okay. Hey, look, have a great day, man. I'm not interested in continuing this conversation with you.
Okay.
Catch you later.
All right.
See ya.
God bless.
Bye. See ya.
Mm-hmm.
That's quite possibly like the dumbest argument.
Lacktheism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sends me into a rage.
It is like what it is. Lacktheism is literally just atheists not willing to take on a burden. That's what it is. That's all Lacktheism is. It's demanding that everybody else takes a burden while they hold their position that there is no God, but they don't actually say there is no God. So like they're in this ether of like nothingness. It literally isn't, what is the word I'm looking for? An incomprehensible word. Like it doesn't actually have a definition. There is no definition for Lacktheism. Or there's no way to categorize it or define it. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you doing? I'm
Good.
32.
All right, bro. There's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Go ahead.
Yeah, I do believe there's a okay reason to be atheist.
Okay.
You know, good is subjective, but I think there's a pretty okay reason to be atheist.
Okay, so let me clarify what I mean by good. What I mean is like it's rational. So there's a belief, a knowledge, and a justification for it.
Sure. So you might call me an agnostic, but I do refute all of the religions on planet Earth. I don't believe that humans have any scope of what God is tangibly, let's say. So I do reject earthly interpretations of what God is. But with that being said, being atheist opens me up to interpreting all sorts of religions in a metaphorical sense, and I feel like I am able to glean a whole lot of wisdom from a lot of different sources because of that. And so I think that's a good reason to be atheist.
Okay, are you stating that you cannot do that as a theist?
No, not necessarily.
Okay, so then why is it a good reason to be atheist?
Well, because religions are usually ideologically capturing, and there's a lot of...
We're not talking about a religion, we're talking about theism.
Sure. A lot of theist ideologies are usually ideologically capturing...
Theism isn't an ideologue. It's a statement of like fact, right? There is a God. So like if you think there is a God, it doesn't has nothing to do with your ideologue.
Well, I mean, people disagree about what God there is.
Yeah, that's a disagreement. That's where your ideologues come in. But all we're talking about is the existence of this being.
Sure.
Okay, so a theist can do all the same things that you said that you can do. So it's not a good reason to be an atheist.
Okay, so I guess then from your... Is this the type of theist that you are?
No.
Okay, so are you a Christian theist?
I'm a Christian, but that's irrelevant.
Well, I'm just curious for, what perspective that you're defending here.
I'm not defending anything. You're making a position and I'm attacking it. You have a positive claim and I'm refuting the positive claim. I don't have to defend a position here.
I suppose an ideologically uncaptured theist could have the exact same position that I do.
Well, even a dogmatic theist can still do that. Like me as a Christian, I could still go and get all the wisdom from all the other literatures and apply it to my life.
I would grant the word could to you there.
Yeah.
But I think statistically, people that are dogmatic are, just that. They're dogmatic.
Yeah, but it's still not a reason that I couldn't do it. So therefore it's not a good reason to be an atheist. Because it's not specific towards atheism.
I would state statistically, if you were freeing yourself from these ideologies, that you're statistically going to be highly more likely to draw wisdom from all the religions rather than the one you're very dogmatic
Yeah,
about.
and if I have two wheels attached to my body, I'm statistically more likely to be a bike. Why is that relevant?
Because that's a good reason to be an atheist.
Again, if you can achieve the same goals, if you could achieve the same goals without being an atheist, that is not a good reason to determine atheism is true.
Okay, so I mean, can I reframe this into like a separate metaphor here?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say I'm shooting an arrow at a target. It feels like your position right now is, well, I could shoot the target not aiming at anything. So why is it important to have your eyes open and looking at the target to hit it?
I don't see how that's analogous.
I mean, it's the stats are on the side of someone who is not ideologically captured to draw more wisdom from more sources rather than someone who is ideologically captured as a theist or an ideologically
Again, none of this proves or disproves the truth of it. Because if I can, even if I'm not statistically likely to do it, if I can do it, and if I choose to do it, and there are many Christians that do choose to do it, then it's not a good reason that atheism is true. If all you're stating is that I just prefer the probability of studying other things, so therefore I'm going to be this thing. Well, again, that's not. You're missing the three pillars of what makes something rational to be true. You need a belief, a knowledge, and a justification. You're missing a justification. You're just saying I have a belief and a knowledge towards a certain thing, so therefore I step towards it. You're basically saying this shoe fits me better, so this is the right shoe.
Is my resistance to ideological capture not justification enough?
So what I'm saying is you're not actually giving me an argument why atheism is true.
Well, it's the prompt says that there's no good reason to be atheist. It doesn't say atheism is true. So I'm not trying to prove that atheism is true. I'm just trying to prove that there's a good reason to be an atheist.
Okay, so your reason is that you can go study other things as an atheist.
My reason is that it's there's far fewer roadblocks ideologically in my way to gather wisdom from many more sources.
So what is in the roadblock of a theist's way to do the exact same thing?
Well, in a broad theist, which I think you were alluding to earlier, where you just believe in a God that maybe isn't really captured by any earthly text or something along those lines, just a broad creator that, like, that person is not going to suffer from these roadblocks.
Oh, great. So then it's not a good reason to be an atheist.
It is
because categorically you can be a theist or an atheist and achieve the same goal.
The number of people that are that type of theist is just really, really low.
It doesn't matter if it's the number of people that are that type of theist. It's the percentage of whether or not they're going to seek out these things if they are that thing. Doesn't matter how many people choose to be that thing, because that's just an ad populum vote.
I'm still leaning on these statistics of ideological capture here. The people that are dogmatically following a particular religion, any particular religion.
I'm not talking about a particular religion. Theism.
Right. And theism is a broad category that we
just like atheism is a broad category.
Typically not, and I would go so far as to say that your viewers,
of course it is. Are you going to tell me all atheists seek knowledge and wisdom from all religions all the time?
No, I would not say that.
Right. So of course it's a broad category.
A lot of atheists are very stubborn and arrogant in their worldview.
Yeah.
And in the same way, okay, if you can grant that, then perhaps we can grant that a lot of theists are rather dogmatic and just believe their particular flavor of theism.
Sure.
And that's it.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that's relevant.
Well, again, I'll repeat myself. Being
so
atheist
again,
just ideological roadblocks.
You just told me atheists can have ideological roadblocks. You just told me that 2 seconds ago. We both agreed on that. And then you went to theists also have roadblocks. So categorically, there's no difference in the two. But you know what? Because we've gone full circle 10 times, I'm just going to go full forward. There is no categorical, there is no roadblocks in atheism. All theists have the roadblock. Why does that make it more true? or good?
And well, the prompt doesn't say true.
Why does
but
it make it more good? What standard of good are you using to measure here? Let's just like you didn't want to accept my category of good
a
when I asked
statistical
for
good?
when I asked for a knowledge, a justification, and a belief. You're rejecting that. So what do you mean when you say good?
A statistical good is what
What
I'm
does
leaning on.
statistical good mean?
I think your chances of having the maximum amount of wisdom.
Why is
and
wisdom good?
compassion- Wisdom and compassion and
Why
a
is wisdom
synergistic
and passion good?
mindset.
Why is wisdom and compassion good?
Well, good is a very hard thing to define, but I'll do my best. I think the last guy spun out on this, and maybe both of you guys did. But I see good as actions that are long-term sighted, that do good today, tomorrow.
That's circular. You
and
cannot
into
use
the
good to explain good. What is good?
Good is something that positively reinforces the future, today,
What is
tomorrow.
a positive reinforcement of the future?
A sustainable system that continues in perpetuity.
A sustainable
for
system that
more
continues
growth.
in perpetuity with more growth. Okay.
Yep.
So this
I mean,
world,
do you
a
wanna give it a shot?
Yeah, sure.
I mean,
no,
I
no,
can- I
I'm
can
going to
pick
use,
apart
I'm going to
your
use, I'm going to
definition
use
of
your,
good
I'm going to use your
really
worldview. I'm going to use your
He
worldview.
has been
A
voted off
sustainable,
already, you know.
a sustainable system that consists in perpetuity that leads to growth. This system could be all men take all women and make them into making factories and stick them into factories where they can't move.
Nope.
So all they,
That
hold
cannot
on,
be
hold on, hold
applied.
on. I'm not done. I'm
It
not
doesn't
done.
work.
I'm not done.
It
I'm not
doesn't
done.
work.
You can explain why it doesn't work when I finish my argument.
Okay.
Great.
All right. It
So
doesn't work though.
let me explain. So all the men take all the women and put them in these factories. We have sustainable growth because we're keeping them alive, we're keeping them healthy, and we're forcing children to come out into the world, right? Right now we're in a decline of children. We're actually having less growth in society because people have their free choice. This is going to actually force growth to happen. Why isn't this good?
It's not good because it does not apply the sustainability into the future for everyone.
Why isn't that sustainable?
The women are used as a tool to provide this sustainability at their
Yeah.
own expense.
Yeah, why isn't that sustainable?
That is not a synergistic, sustainable system.
Why?
Because you're impeding on other people's ability to sustain themselves.
We're
for you to
sustaining
sustain
them.
yourself.
We're keeping them alive. We're keeping them healthy. We're sustaining them.
No,
What are you
this-
talking about?
This is a very flat-minded view of the word sustainability.
What do you mean by sustainability then? Because you like to change every word's definition. You didn't want to address my original term when I used good. So now we're using
I'm
your
gonna
term.
change-
So what is
I'm
your
gonna
term
change
for
any definition.
sustainable then?
Why don't you try to define good?
No.
Do you have a mindset for
why
what
don't
good is?
why don't you make your argument?
I
Why don't you
have,
run
but
away from it? Why is it not sustainable?
it's putting women into a warehouse where you're turning them into birthing machines? Why
Yeah.
is that not sustainable?
Why is it not?
That's, I mean, come on, that's a ridiculous question.
Why?
That is apparent. It is apparent why that is ridiculous.
So it's wrong because of your fifis?
What?
You're not giving me an
impeding on
argument. You're just
people's
saying it's
autonomy.
wrong because it's wrong. Why is it
You're
wrong?
impeding on people's autonomy is why
Yes.
it's wrong.
Yeah, that was implied in the analogy I gave. Why is that wrong?
That is an apparent truth that impeding on people's autonomy is bad.
Why?
And it's self-defending, actually.
How?
Like the argument you were using earlier with the other guest about, like, you know, if I just want to unalive people and it makes me happy,
Mm-hmm.
why don't I just do that? And you could say, well, that's my self-expression of autonomy. So what's wrong with that, right? You could pick apart my argument that way. However, that expression of autonomy violates other people's autonomy.
Hold on. I've given
And
you grace.
therefore, it doesn't work.
Hold on. I've given you grace and let you stay on after you got voted out by the chat. So I'm going to give you one more chance to actually answer this question without being circular. Why is me taking away your autonomy wrong?
I don't know how to explain that. That is just
I didn't think so.
obvious truth.
Appreciate your time. God bless.
Sure, pal.
Mm-hmm.
It is 3:50.
Okay, we'll try to do one more quick one.
Why?
Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? Okay. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
I'm good. I'm 47.
All right, man. There's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Prove me wrong. We only got 10 minutes, though, so go ahead.
The reason to be a Muslim, so that way I could marry a bunch of women and then those robes look really cozy. And
just looking for a serious conversation, guys.
See, this is what happens when you want one more.
Timer's up nonetheless. If we get through the timer, we get through the timer. Not Striker.
Oh, hey, bud. I'm 30.
I wonder who it could be.
It's definitely not Striker. All right, there's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Prove me wrong.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. So I'm actually not an atheist or a Muslim. I'm a pizzaist. And so as a...
That's not the topic, but thanks for your time.
Wow. Not even a chance.
It wasn't the topic.
I'm just gonna say you let Funky talk. You let Funky debate pizza when it wasn't the topic.
Yeah, but Funky
seems like a favorite child.
But Funky sent me like $800. So, hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
I'm 27. Can you hear me
No.
good? All right, hold on. What about now?
Yeah, great. All right, man. There's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Prove me wrong. Go ahead.
So, in my view, in my opinion, there's a great reason. The only great reason I see is because God is just and God is, almighty. For someone to say there's no good reason would mean, everything that he put in the Bible that he gave to,
Looking for disagreeers only.
Just let him talk.
Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Yeah, I'm 27.
All right, bro. There's no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Go ahead.
Yeah, so the good reason to be atheist is that the common phenomenon is more expected.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Well, no, I'll be clearer, so it's better now.
Can you guys hear him?
No.
All right, man.
So,
Appreciate your time.
give me the count, so.
Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Yeah, I'm 30.
All right, no good reason to be atheist or Muslim. Go ahead. You got 4 minutes and 18 seconds.
Yeah, sure. Look, premise one: if the classical theistic notion of God is false, then there isn't a good reason to be a theist. That which is a good reason to be a theist results in atheism. The classical theistic notion of God is false. Thus, there's a good reason to be an atheist. So, you want motivation for premise one?
Yeah, I disagree with premise one. Go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Look, classical theism is going to be saying God's existence is identical, or God is identical to his existence.
No,
right?
I disagree with premise one. I don't need a motivation for like the reason behind that premise. I disagree that you have to hold to classical theism to be theist.
So, what type of theism do you hold to, sir? For clarification.
I'm a classical theist, but you don't have to hold to classical theism to be a theist.
Whoa! So, if you hold to classical theism, okay, it's necessarily the case. Oh, sorry, my bad. Someone can look. All I'm saying is premise one: for any x and y, if x is a grounding relation for phenomena z and y isn't such.
Yeah,
that
so
y
I'm not
is
defending classical theism right now.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is that
sir.
the prompt?
Sir, I take classical theism.
Is that the prompt?
Theism. Look, I take classical theism
just
to be the only
you
notion.
just because you do. Everybody else does.
Right. So, for example, there's open theism.
Yeah, I'm presenting an argument why classical theism has to be the only coherent.
Okay, so give me the argument why you have to reject open theism and hold to just classical theism.
Yeah, because look, if you rejected a notion that God is identical to his existence, then there's going to exist a distinction between God's essence and his existence, right?
Yeah, that's fine. That's open theism.
Okay, and that type of distinction is either going to be a minor rule or virtue, right?
It's going to be a what?
What type of distinction do you think they commit to, sir? Or do I need to inform you?
Slow down. I didn't hear a word you said.
I said, what type of distinction do you think they commit to between the essence and the existence, sir?
Between the essence and the existence, the distinction between
Yep.
it? I don't know.
Yep.
You have to give me a list of all distinctions.
Yeah, sure. They commit to a real distinction, which is going to entail contingency or a grounding relation. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you think God can have dependency within him, sir?
If there's open theism, sure.
Dude, if you think God can have a grounding relation or dependency with him, it results in God being contingent. Thus, open theism results in a non-coherent conception of God.
Why is that
That's what I'm saying.
incoherent?
You think God can be contingent?
Why can't he?
So God's not necessary. Fine. That's completely fine, sir. Thank you. So guys, I think that's the concession, sure.
That's
Have a
not
good
a
day, sir.
that's
Have a
not
good
a
day.
concession.
So God can be.
I don't
contingent,
hold
yeah.
to open theism. You're just
I'm
stating
telling
that.
you, look,
so
I
again,
don't think you're tracking. Look, open theism. I've told you why it results to God being contingent. A coherent notion of God.
why does it come to being God being contingent?
Maybe you're not tracking. Look, God's essence and existence are not going to be identical, such that there exists a
God's
distinction.
essence and existence are not going to be identical.
Yeah.
What's the difference between essence and existence?
Okay, essence is going to refer to the whatness of the thing, right? And existence, assuming open theism, posits it's going to be a quantifier, and it's just going to be a category error to say X is identical to a quantifier within like any formal system.
Yeah. So again, what's the difference?
I just told you. Existence is a quantifier. Essence is the whatness of a thing. It's essential property, sir.
So is a whatness quantified?
Whoa. That's going to be a blunder, sir. You can quantify over predicates in second order logic, for instance, but you don't import equality between the two things.
So you need to slow down, because again, I still don't understand the distinction between essence and existence here.
Maybe you're not tracking. Look,
can something have essence without existence?
Yeah, sure.
It can?
Yeah.
There can be essence without existence? How?
Yep, fictitiously. I wouldn't say fictitious entities exist. Yeah, we can still speak.
So
of them,
where's the
right?
essence of a fictitious thing?
It's essential property, sir. It's
how is it an essential property if it doesn't exist? It's essential.
You think essential to its fictitious nature, sir?
So then it's
I'm
not
sure.
essential. It's fictitious. I can change it.
Wait, what? Look, essentialism is just noting that there exists some property true of this entity.
Define essential.
I'm about to define it, sir.
You got literally 3 seconds.
What do you mean? Wait, what do you mean? What are you talking about? I got 3 seconds. What are you doing?
Remember how he said at the beginning
Wait,
that
why
you
is the timer
remember?
going?
Hey, wait. Do you remember at the beginning when he said you had 4 minutes and 30 seconds because we got to go for work? Remember that?
No, they don't listen. All right, guys, that's it for today. What a wild ride today. What a wild ride. Let's do a prayer and a plug, and then we'll do a hangout. What?
Before you pray, Striker.
Oh, we should do the super chats too.
That was a prayer request.
What is his prayer request?
One of his clients. How do you say it?
Okay, well, you're doing that. Ouch, my brain cells. I agree.
Unalive themselves.
Oh my God. Yes, we'll of course pray. Keep walking the narrow path, brother. It's a super tough to remain patient, and you certainly do better than I would, LOL. Keep your focus upward always. God bless you and Abby. Much love, J-Space. Thank you very much. That was very kind. Just say all your arguments are self-defending. What? Oh, that guy. Yes, I understand. All of his arguments are just self-defending. Our Father is in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our debts as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. Lord, you are good then in everything that you do. Guide us into the knowledge of who you are, and help us be more Christ-like every day. Forgive us of our sins in the way that we may act out, especially myself, towards people when put under stressful moments. But nonetheless, you are good, and you're forgiving, and you're gracious. We ask that you look out for Striker's client through this process. That could be a horrible, terrible thing that happens to them and their family. So look out for their family as they grieve through this. But Lord, forgive them for their sin that they have done against themselves, and give them grace and welcome them into your kingdom. Continue to draw us into you. Continue to give us knowledge. Continue to give us wisdom. Correct us if we're wrong, but those who come against us, if they're wrong, correct them too. I ask that you bless everybody that came against us today, and walk with them and be present with them, and draw them into the knowledge of you. If they are not to know you, I ask that you just give them happiness and health and the things that they desire on this earth, for you are a good God. I ask this all in Jesus' name. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. All right, guys. if you want to support me, support my channel, you could do so mainly on YouTube. So go over there and subscribe. We put out content every day. We just put out a video today. We also got a new channel that we just put out. It was a podcast with myself and my wife where we just talk about life and things like that. And that is at Technical Problems Podcast on YouTube. I haven't put that link in the bio yet, but I will do that. You can also send one-time donations on PayPal, links in the bio for that. And you can also support us on Patreon, where we offer exclusive content just for you guys, including a Bible study. So if you want to be part of that, all links are in my bio. And then you can support this channel and help it grow. And then, of course, obviously, super chats are another way to help us grow. It's through your guys' generosity and donations that we are able to keep going. And then I also just want to say real quick, we hit the goal today. We do about $300 for our goal every live to kind of keep us going. And we doubled that today. So thank you guys so much for that support. The $300 a day is just to keep us alive. Everything above that is to help us grow and do other things and more things and bigger and better content. Anybody who's watching on YouTube, we're going to hang out on TikTok. We're going to hang out on YouTube for the next 5-10 minutes. So if you have any questions, anything you want to say, head on over there at Big John Steele. God bless you guys. And we will see you all on Wednesday. And then on Friday, we got a special guest. God bless. What a day, ladies and gentlemen. What a day. What a freaking day. All right. That's it for that. I need a nap, that's for sure. And then I got to go to work after this. We got to talk about how John ran for me. I'm scared of you. Scared of you. It's impossible to get not called out for running. It's like impossible. He's losing his temper. He's stuttering. He's losing the debates. Right. So I invite you to come up next time. You explain to me exactly how I lost the debate, because temperament and stuttering does not show correctness. If that's the case, I would like you to give me an argument how temperament and stuttering, even I don't think I stuttered, but even if I did, shows whether or not somebody is correct or incorrect about the things that they're saying. When do you want to start the Dono Bar to help you start the Cancer Society? All of it will go to that, man. All of that will go to it for sure. Pray that I make my basketball. What?
Basketball team, maybe?
Oh, do you have a favorite for Islam grappler versus Jack? What? In a fight. I don't know Jack Della. I don't know his moves. Islam is goated though. Like he's so good. So I think I just give it to him just based off being Islam. I don't think I have time for a power nap. Literally got 2 minutes. Have you ever debated anybody who used nap or argument ethics to argue objective morals outside of theology? No. I have yet to hear that. I would love to hear an argument for it. Everybody keeps telling me it is there. Islam is goated, clipped. Oh my God. All extra donos go to the good guy, atheist, bad guy group. Oh yeah. All extra donos go to the anti-good guy, bad guy group. Wait, no, the anti-bad guy, good guy group. That's it. All the extra donos go to that. Black coffee. I just had a glass of coffee. I think I might have another. Having peace and being peaceful are different. That's true. That's true. This is why you don't support the evil of grappling. None led to God because they all follow their own belief of God. What? John's Villain Arc. Anti-good guy, bad guy club. Yeah. Yeah. Great job, John, but still stay calm. I lost my temper once.
And you know what? He's been doing so good lately.
I've been doing great.
But the one day he messes up and y'all come for him. You don't say anything when he's doing a great job.
Actually, some people have. A lot of people were saying, they've noticed the difference. I've gotten messages. Not the haters. No. I don't share my denomination. John's been holding down with a silly goose. Yeah, I slipped today because I was tired. And one thing that drives me up the wall when it's like, hey, what's your opinion on this? And you get 2 words in and they cut you off. And then it's like a couple times it's fine, but when they consistently do it. Get a swear jar, dude. Here's the weird thing about getting a swear jar. Where do we go? Where do we do with the money? Where does it go? We put it in the swear jar, and then what? If I go a month without swearing, I get it back. Like what do we do with the money?
I think technically you donate it or something.
We already donate, so.
John is not debating tomorrow, but he is hosting a debate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Actually, yeah, that's true, guys. Tomorrow evening, I'll be hosting a debate on my channel between Ryan Mullins and I'm forgetting the other guy's name right now. Ryan Mullins, who actually is an open theist and a legit philosopher. Actually, I think he's an open theist. I'm not too sure. I'm pretty sure he is. And Dr. Stephen Kirshner, and that will be at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So just need to double check. Yeah, so yeah, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Use the swear jar money to do an out-of-state debate. Will Little John be there? No, he will not be there. Like, he'll be there, but he won't be on the channel.
It will be live, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be live. Like, I set it all up. We're set up for it. I got everything going. Gee, I can show you guys the background for it right now. Hold on. Ready? This is going to be the live background.
Whoa.
For everything. So
that's a lot on the eyes. It'll be mostly covered up though, eh?
Well, it'd be like this.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Yeah,
so Abby's not a fan. She just told me right off the bat she didn't like it. She didn't like it. Is that Jay Dyer style? Dang it. I was hoping it was unique. All right, guys. I'm going to head out now. God bless. Have yourself a great day. We'll see you all tomorrow.